We are live here on the Nature Sports Network. This ETA Money Roll coming in, you know what I'm saying, live with Big Son. We're gonna start it off for the day. The guys will be on later on. This is the big day today, quarterback day. Quarterback day. We did go over a lot of the quarterbacks yesterday with Jaden Daniels doing his pro day yesterday. So we did go through other pro days to see what was going on. But hey, y'all know what it is, man. We still gonna go through the rest of the quarterback class and look at what's going on as far as the Redskins go, and as far as your team go overall. Your team, we will probably discuss 9 times out of 10, especially the teams that are drafted quarterback business, though this is quarterback day. Y'all know what it is, man. Big Son in the building.
Y'all already know what it is, man. Signing in 10-year vets y'all talking to. Y'all listening to right here on the Nature DC show. We've been doing this for a long time, doing a lot of coverage. Y'all been along on the ride. Some of y'all been along on the ride. Some of y'all just hopped on. So I'm gonna say, as I always say, enjoy it while you on this ride, because it's a heck of a ride when you ride with them Nature boys. We do it different.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I look forward to hearing from y'all tonight. Y'all get in there in them comment sections. You know what I'm saying? Like Rose said, it don't have to be Redskins, Commanders, or however y'all call them. It don't have to be about us all. If you want to talk about your team, throw your team in there, and we'll talk about them.
Yes,
We're gonna get
indeed.
the co-op facts. If you want to hear the co-op truth about the team, you know what I'm saying? Put it in the chat, and we'll do the rundown on them. We ain't biased here.
Yes, indeed, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We're gonna come to y'all bringing it raw, live, and direct. And again, this is quarterback day today. So this is a really, really special day. I mean, especially for all the fans around there listening, looking, and watching. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know y'all are hyped for the quarterbacks that's coming out this year, especially the teams that are drafting them. I'm pretty sure Chicago's drafting the quarterback this year. So Chicago would be one of them. Atlanta would be another one, maybe Denver, maybe the Raiders. All those teams on the board who got quarterbacks on their mind, this is the place to be. And
Mm.
of course, the Redskins got quarterbacks on their mind, where they should, in my opinion, at least. Some of the guys were saying yesterday that they was thinking about Mariota. They wouldn't mind Mariota starting. What you think about that, Big Son?
Um, Only reason why I wouldn't have a problem with Mariota starting is because the guy who's going to be given the concepts knows Mariota, comfortable with him. They're comfortable with each other. So that can be a big plus when you're trying to implement a new scheme to the new regime.
Yes, indeed.
Um, Mariota has had one playoff win in his career. Um, he doesn't have big numbers that jump off the board as far as I'm talking about win loss. You know, he doesn't have that separation that you want in the win column. He has that separation that you don't want in the loss column. But nonetheless, I still believe that Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback? Is he still a dual threat? I don't think he's still that dual threat that he was when he came out of Oregon. Um, but I do think he's still a valid source to go to until you get whatever you want to develop, or whomever you want to develop, all to the start that they need to be in order for them to take the reins of the team. I think that Mariota is a good veteran. He's been in the game for a little while. He hasn't, like I say, he hasn't really gone to where we would all like to see him go as a quarterback, especially being projected as high as he was. He was a second round pick. I mean, not second round pick, he was a second pick overall. Not second round, he was second pick overall. And you draft a guy that high, you would expect that the upside would be more on the upside than the downside. And unfortunately, Marcus Mariota hasn't had the best career. So when you look at that, you just have to be honest with yourself and your team and say, okay, what can this guy do best? He's not the guy he used to be, and we don't want him to be that. We just want him to come in here and run this offense like he knows how to run it and help the other guys run this offense that he knows how to run. And see, um the thing about having a guy come in that's already a veteran, that's already played football around the league and played for a couple teams, that guy has a little bit more knowledge than other guys because he's been put in more situations than others, like RG3. That's why RG3 was so helpful to Jackson when he came to Baltimore because RG3 had been through, what Lamar was about to go through, so he could tell Lamar, well, look, this is what you don't do, but this is what you do do. So um, like I say, I think Mariota will be if we have to go in the season with Mariota. Not saying that I want to, because I do not. I don't want that. It's guys right now that could come in and start over Mariota and be a lot better and more productive in my eyes. But to Leo's point last night, Leo was saying how the league has now taken away the aspect of the rookie actually sitting down behind a veteran, i.e., we can even say Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. You know, A Rod sat down, and as good as A Rod is, he could have actually, just came out, but that was the right thing for them to do. Let these guys develop, and I think the league it gets lost in the now. Everything doesn't have to be now all the time. Like you could build your team with 2 to 3 years. So that third year, you already know. Look, I built them up. This is what I plan to do. This is where I plan to be. We at the bowl. We win the game. That was our plan. We put in. It don't have to always be about the now. You
Right.
know. So I honestly wouldn't mind, but I would mind. You know. At the same time, if that makes any sense to the fans out there listening.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. 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 Again, I would much rather I would much rather see one of those rookies out there get a shot because I'm not confident in Mariota's arm strength. That is my biggest, that's my biggest problem with him is his arm strength. I'm not sure that he has the arm strength to stretch the field, which means for me at least that it's easier to play defense against someone who can't stretch the field. That means you're playing defense roughly, let's say on 15 yards of field rather than 40 yards of field or 50 yards of field. You don't have to really
Hmm.
worry about him throwing the ball over your head. So when it comes to Mariota, that is my biggest question mark is his arm strength. You know what I mean? His arm strength is exactly the biggest question mark for me. Um, do I feel like he has the experience to go along and do his thing properly? Yes, he absolutely does. Do I feel like he has the pedigree outside of arm strength? I think he does. Again, Point said yesterday that Dan Quinn was comfortable. If that had to be the case, he also said that Cliff Kingsbury was comfortable. That these guys themselves said that they were comfortable. If that had to be a case, he also said that Mariota was sought out um by the coaches here. That can go one of two ways. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, it can be a good thing if he was sought after as insurance, but I'm not. If he was sought after as the starting quarterback this year, I think personally that's a tank season. That's my personal opinion. If they sought after him, he's gonna be the fall guy at the end of the year when they tank. Because to me, when you tank, you need a fall guy. You need a fall, especially in DC. You might can get away with it in Philly. Because as we know, Josh Harris, the owner of the Redskins, has tanked in Philly. He purposely tanked. Everybody knows that. A lot of people feel like there's question marks as to whether he did it here. I don't feel there's any question marks. I don't think it's a coincidence we lost 3 games after starting off. I mean, we went 4-13 after starting off 2-0. I think people forget that this Washington team, if whenever they say, "Oh, this team wasn't good enough to win," well, this team started off 2-0. So obviously they were good enough to do that. And we looked at the numbers when they started off 2-0, they started off running the ball. B Rob was averaging 18.5 yards a carry. I mean, yard carries a game in those two wins, those first two wins. Go look up the numbers. He had 19 carries the first game, 17 carries the second game. So we're 18. That's not 18.5. That's 18 even. He's averaging 18 carries a game. The next game, I think he had 9 after that. So that's half of what he had the first two games. And then the game after that, he didn't, I think he had 3 or 2. And Rodriguez led the team in carries with 7 carries the whole game. He led the team with 7 total carries, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. I'm not that's not a win. That's not winning football. That's definitely not winning Redskin football.
I've been telling y'all about Rodriguez, man. Y'all already know that boy, your dog, straight out of Kentucky, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Ray Davis as well. Um, but to be totally honest about Ray Davis, I think Shorty got a little bit of attitude problem. I was checking out some footage,
Right.
and
Well,
I
what did
mean,
you
he can still be coach. You know, that's not nothing. I mean, I believe he was just speaking his mind, and should he have done it in that manner? Probably not. But um, these players are gonna have to learn like that. Certain things you ain't gonna be able to do. When you get to the league, all that little, in your feeling stuff. That stuff stop. It's just about business. Grown man time.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Um,
Yeah.
I think that you should in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Um, I think that you should when you get out of college, you should take your career more serious if you plan on having a career.
Hmm.
You know, I think you should take your career much more serious. It shouldn't be certain questions should not be questions anymore. Certain things
Yeah.
that you got away with and that you did previously, you shouldn't be doing them anymore. You know. So,
Yeah.
but we are here to answer the question of we are here to answer the question of quarterbacks. What are
Hmm.
we going to do at quarterback? That is the question. What are we going to do at quarterback? What you got us doing, big son? What does that look like for you?
I mean, the scenarios that I put us in last night. Um, the scenarios that I put us in last night only gonna go two other ways. Two ways. Bo Nix or Joe Milton. The one that I put us in. But the situation I believe that they're gonna put themselves in, they're gonna draft Jaden Daniel.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they're gonna draft Jaden Daniel. Draft Jaden Daniel. Then, like I say, they're probably gonna get their hands. They're probably gonna have to use collateral to get Brian Thomas. You know, um, they would also have to think about where does that put you in the market for either a decent linebacker to add to the core, which is already strong, a decent
Right.
linebacker. Now this is within the, I'll say in the third round, maybe the last pick of the second, or maybe the third. I'll just say third round. Well, what's going to come down to is what's going to be left at the tackle position.
Okay.
If you make that move, if you make the move of grabbing Jaden early, you gotta almost go get your wide receiver to pair him up with before you go get your tackle.
I
So if you do that now Rosenberg, Rosen, the Berg or whatever his
Rosen
name
Gentile.
is.
Rosen Gentile. Rosen Gentile.
Yeah, Rosen Gentile. He might be there. And
Right.
he's the 10th tackle, you know, projected as the 10th. He's projected as the 10th. Now
He
he
went to
be there.
Washington. He's a good guy. He went to Washington. Great,
And that's
great.
what I'm saying. He might not even be there.
You think so?
Who's to say he's gonna be there?
Okay.
You know?
Okay. I think he should be there. I think he should be. He's not high on anybody's big board. I would hope he would be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not there, then well, no. If he's not there, show someone else. Maybe not of his caliber, because I'm really comfortable with him. However,
Uh
someone else of some form of a decent caliber should be there.
yeah, I agree. All right, let me switch out. I'm about to switch this show real quick.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So my analysis is I do see them getting Jaden Daniels. I think that this team, based on okay, during the season last year, let's take this back a second. Let's take this back a notch for Redskin fans out there. We're gonna take this back a bit of a notch. During the season last year, um, there was a comment made by the ownership, Josh Hurst, and this is even before we got Adam Peters. There was a comment made by Josh Hurst. Me personally, it was a slap in the face to Redskins fans and to Redskins Nation. In my opinion, though, this is just my opinion, and I'll tell you why it was a slap in the face to me. But during the season last year, um, there was a comment made by Josh Hurst where Josh Hurst himself said that, hey, I want to pattern this team after the Baltimore Ravens. That was the comment by Josh Hurst. I want to pattern this team after the Baltimore Ravens. Right? So that could be an indication this year, moving forward 6 months later. I think maybe 8 months later, moving forward maybe 6 to 8 months later. That could be an indication of them leaning towards Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels coming out of college with yesterday weighed in at 6'3", 210 pounds. He ran a 4.3 40. Lamar Jackson, when he came out of school, he also was, I believe he was the Heisman Trophy winner too, if I'm not mistaken, just like Jaden Daniels is. And his size was 6'2". Lamar Jackson was 6'2", 210 pounds. So they are roughly around the same size, almost the same exact speed. So if you're going to pattern your team after the Baltimore Ravens, quote unquote, who do you start with? Lamar Jackson right now. And you would start with the defense as well. And so um Josh Hurst during the season made a comment where he said, hey, I want to pattern this team after the Baltimore Ravens. That's what the comment was. That's what the comment was. What you got, Point? What's going on? Point in the building, Point be in the building. I'm gonna go ahead and let him you know, get acclimated on what's going on. But again, we talking quarterbacks right now, Point. We talking quarterbacks. And what do you think the Redskins gonna do with the
I
number
would say,
2 pick? Or with the
yeah.
quarterback position? Not even necessarily the number 2 pick. What you got them doing for the quarterback position?
I think it's a bit of a toss up between um, drafting Jaden Daniels. I think moved up above Drake May. I'm not sure about what they feel about J.J. McCarthy, but I think those two guys are on the top of the list. But I also think that J.J. McCarthy has a good shot at getting drafted at number two as well
Mm,
because they seem to like him very much. And if you look at role, right, like like I was saying yesterday, the PFF had Jaden Daniels at number nine last year, early in the year, you know. So he jumped up a lot of spots. He had a phenomenal year, won the Heisman and everything. But J.J. McCarthy's kind of been steady in that fifth spot for a while, you know. And so
right.
for him to be steady in the same spot versus somebody that just had a really phenomenal year, I don't know if they go with, the longevity of J.J. McCarthy or they go with the talent of Jaden Daniels. So
Okay.
those are the two top guys, right? And then I think they have a very interesting take where they have this 36 and the 40th pick. So if you're going to pattern it behind Baltimore, if he loves Baltimore Ravens football that much, then Jaden Daniels is the clear choice. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that may be what he's saying before he talks to a guy like Adam Peters. You know what I mean? So like Adam Peters, I think, has the ability to potentially change the mindset of a guy of a of the head, of the owner, right? Because he got insight about the league that the owner just probably doesn't know. He got insight about players. He seems to be a players GM, a guy that's been a scout and has talked to the other scouts and is very aware of what today's NFL's prospects should look like.
Right.
So right now, just my opinion, it would be very hard because after watching Peters and Quinn, they've said several times they don't know what they're going to do because they're not finished the process. And I think once they finish the process, it depends on what they're building, how they're building it. And this is the thing. Marcus Mariota has been a running quarterback, so we necessarily wouldn't have to draft the running quarterback if you're gonna have somebody go out there and run the ball half the time. So
Yeah.
it gives a lot of options in that space. If you look at Marcus Murray, he may not be Lamar Jackson fast, but he's definitely a running, scrambling guy. And
Well,
so, go ahead.
no, to your point, that's interesting. But I think that might do give an indication that they plan on drafting Jaden Daniels because at the end of the day, I believe that if you do have whoever your backup is has to mirror what you have as starting quarterback. Because if virtually if your starting quarterback gets hurt, then the backup virtually you don't want to have to change your whole offense for a backup quarterback or for someone who's about to come in, midway through the season. That's you really don't normally do that. So you try to get quarterbacks with similar attributes because they can run the same thing. So I think when you do think about Marcus Mariota, he is closer to what they would run with the Jaden Daniels than a Drake May.
Yeah, but you also got to think about a person like Bo Nix. You hear what I'm saying? Because Bo Nix might be sitting there at 36 or sitting there at 40. And like if it happens like how Big Son's draft happened last night, he even drops later than the third round. So I don't think he does, but it's potential. It can happen. Drafts go the way that the draft goes. So you can't really dictate or say exactly what will happen. You can't really say that the quarterback position isn't going to be overdrafted or the wide receiver position is going to be overdrafted. So it's really you really cannot indicate what potentially may happen right now. It's really too hard to guess. And like I said, with what Adam Peters have said repeatedly, with Dan Quinn said repeatedly, is that they're still going through the process. So, right now they might be saying, hey, Jaden Daniels at the top of the list, but throughout the end of the process, it may be like, hey, we really need to take this guy at number 2 because we can take this guy in the third round, in the fourth round. It could be a Joe Milton, it could be anybody. So I can't really say, but I would say right now, if I had to guess, I would say right now Jaden Daniels, with this pro day, has done really well. He had a really good pro day, and so
I
I
don't know
could
about
see.
that. I don't know about that.
Well, compared to what I've been, I'm just going by the reports. And if you go by the reports, I watched it myself. So I didn't feel like it was a bad pro day. I feel like he made some good throws. I feel like he missed on some of the deep balls. I feel like he missed on some of the out routes
Right.
that he
I
could have probably hit.
right.
But I'm saying this in retrospect of what people were saying about Drake May's pro day, and it's not a lot of people raving about Drake May's pro day. So you
Right.
got people raving about
Well,
Jaden Daniels pro
Drake May
day.
hasn't had a pro day yet. He hasn't had a pro day.
His was today.
Mm.
His pro day was today.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, good. There you
Yeah,
go. No, I
yeah,
was checking in from last night. Okay.
yeah,
We'll check in. Of course I'm gonna pull the footage up. I'm gonna go through it with the fans like we did last night. I went
yeah,
I went pass for pass on pretty much everybody's pro day as to what I was seeing as these things were happening. So I'll do the same thing today. But go ahead.
yeah. But so with looking at it like that, right, and seeing that you do have some guys there in some of those spots that I personally think is very good ballers. But when you think about the aspect of them trying to choose the right guy, right? Them trying to choose the perfect quarterback that's going to lead the team in the future, um, it's all about what they want. And right now, they have been very tight-lipped about what they want. And so from what I've seen about Drake May's pro day versus Jaden Daniels' pro day, it's a lot more people raving and saying, "Hey, Jaden Daniels had an amazing pro day, had a great pro day," and I've seen people saying Drake May's pro day wasn't all that great.
Hmm. Well, to me, Drake May has on the game film, the game tape, the in-game tape. I feel like Drake May struggled when it came to accuracy. So if that is what happened at the pro day, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, you know. So again, that was point B. Point B said that
Hey, nah,
from
that's
oh, go
basically
ahead.
what they were saying about Drake May's inaccuracy. He said he wasn't, very accurate today. Like I said, I have not seen the footage, so I would have to see the footage before I can actually say myself what I believe. But yeah, I think it's a pretty tight situation.
Okay. That was point B, man. Point B, letting you know what his thoughts is on this impeding number 2 pick, at least for Washington. And what about the round of the league? What do you see other teams doing who need a quarterback? Like primarily, what do you see Atlanta doing? What do you see the Raiders doing who needs a quarterback? What do you see Minnesota doing?
Hey, real quick, bro. Make
Yeah.
sure we live on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, indeed. We are definitely live on Facebook and Instagram. We are definitely live on Facebook and Instagram. Absolutely. Oh, not Instagram yet. We about to go live. We are going live currently as we speak on Instagram. We are now live on Instagram. We are already live on Facebook. It is in the Nature's group on Facebook. Shout out to everybody out there listening. If you have a Facebook, do look up the Nature Sports DC and go ahead and add us in there. If you have a YouTube, go ahead and look for the Studio Runners channel on YouTube and go ahead and subscribe. And that way, man, y'all can stay locked in every night we are on. If you have a Twitter at DieHardSkins. That's Die Hard Skins, man, on Twitter. That is the handle. And go ahead and look for it. And you could just type in the hashtag the nature DC on any of those platforms, and we shall come up. Make sure you add yourself to all the pages and keep yourself informed when we are on. Because I'm telling you now, you're not gonna get it nowhere else the way we give it to you, baby. We giving it to you raw, direct, real football knowledge. We have been doing this for 10 years straight. Well, not straight, but 10 years because we had COVID seasons and other things that have happened. But 10 years, we've been giving it to you for 10 years for sure. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to give it to you raw, direct, real football knowledge. And you don't have to go a whole bunch of places to find out the real stuff behind your team. Because we're going to talk about your team at some point in time throughout any broadcast that we do, because we get it in over here. Yes, indeed. The Nature DC, baby. So, like I was saying, when you talk about the quarterback position, to the guys, hey, do y'all got any analysis on what them other teams might happen to do? Meaning Atlanta, Minnesota, who's also looking for a quarterback. I believe maybe they not, maybe they are, but I do believe they're looking for a quarterback. So you got Minnesota, you got Atlanta, and you have one more that I believe is looking for a quarterback, Denver. I think Denver might be looking for a quarterback as well. What do you got on them guys and what they could possibly do at the quarterback position. And we know Chicago is also looking at the quarterback position. If y'all want to dive into Chicago, you can also do that as well. We're going to swing that around the room. What y'all got? Oh, well, I'll
Go ahead,
say.
Leo.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, you start. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I can start it off. Okay, so for my opinion is I think when you look at Chicago, they drafted before the last quarterback I believe they drafted high like that was Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky did not work out for them, or whatever they wanted out of him, they didn't get out of him. So I think that with Mitchell Trubisky, them not getting all of what they wanted out of him, I think that scares them away from Drake May, because Mitchell Trubisky also went to North Carolina. So I don't see them drafting anyone from North Carolina. They could draft Jaden Daniels, though. I'm not going to rule out Chicago drafting Jaden Daniels. However, I think that his game is similar to Justin Fields, who they just traded. And I think a lot of Bears fans might be a little bit taken away by a Jaden Daniels because of what they got out of Justin Fields. They might not want to go that route. They might have felt like, hey, we might as well should have kept Justin Fields. At least he has NFL experience. So I don't know if they go that route, but I'm not going to rule it out. I do, however, think that they're going to draft Caleb Williams. I do think Caleb Williams is going to the Bears. All indication is that Caleb Williams is going to the Bears. If he does not, then I do think they will use that first pick on Marvin Harrison Jr. and wait till the 8th pick to pick a quarterback. That is my analysis on the Bears. As far as Atlanta goes, I think that is where Drake May will end up if we don't pick him up at Washington, which, again, when you think about it, I'm not sure we pick Drake May based on the same reason that I said about Chicago, because we just got rid of Sam Howell, who was also a North Carolina quarterback. So I'm not sure we go North Carolina for a second time. I think that because of that, you might have a lot of people who feel like, hey, why didn't you just keep Sam Howell if you was going to get Drake May? Especially with the word coming out of the combine, early word coming out of the combine that he did not, his pro day, that he did not have a good pro day. So I'm not sure that you go Drake May either. So that would leave one person, would be Jaden Daniels. So I think that is who we get ultimately. If I had to put a thing on it, if I had to make a choice, I do think we get Jaden Daniels. Now, I won't rule out the possibility that we draft Marvin Harrison Jr. with that number 2 pick, because honestly, he is ranked number 2 overall athlete in this draft. That to me would be the proper pick. And then you would wait for Bo Nix later on in the draft. That's who would be my target quarterback. If it was me at the helms, my target quarterback in this draft would be Bo Nix. I feel like Bo Nix had the best pro day. I feel like Bo Nix had the, outside of Penix this year, he had the best year. No offense to Daniels. I know Daniels had 1,100 rushing yards and he had a massive amount of touchdowns. I mean, a massive amount of touchdowns, hardly no interceptions. I get it. But to me, personally, I like Bo Nix a little bit better than Jaden Daniels as far as passing the ball. Now, depending on what you want to run, of course, they have Mariota there, so that it just leans more towards Jaden Daniels. That's why I think Washington ultimately, with that second pick, jumps on Jaden Daniels. Now, moving right along to the Minnesota Vikings. I think Bo Nix could end up in Minnesota if Drake May doesn't end up in Minnesota, or Atlanta, one or the other. I think he might end up there. Or I think Michael Penix Jr. might end up at one of those. Either I think it's a toss-up between them two. And I'm interested to see what Joe Melton would end up after all the smoke clears. So that's my analysis, guys. I'm swinging back around the room. See what you got.
You want to go, Big Son, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. This might seem like a shocker to y'all, but I could honestly see Joe Milton in Minnesota.
Mm.
I can see him in Minnesota. And I'm going to tell you guys why I think he would go to Minnesota. One, Dobbs is there to teach him this pro football game. Joe Milton, if he doesn't have the strongest arm in the draft, he has one of the strongest arms in the draft. And Minnesota They like to pump the ball downfield. Now, Kirk Cousins doesn't have the biggest arm, but he's been known to pump the ball downfield to his number one receiver. Well, I'll say former number one receiver, because as we all know, Kirk Cousins left the building and took his talents elsewhere. I could like I said, I could see Joe Milton going to the Minnesota Vikings. I like Joe Milton's play style. All he needs is what I want to say, a couple more tools out of the shed. You know what I'm saying? A couple more tools out of that shed and bring it onto that field play. And you're looking at a very solid quarterback in my eyes. Sometimes his accuracy may leave a little bit to be desired, but I think when he gets in the NFL, it's going to be fine, because I think sometimes on some of these plays, Joe Milton was already NFL ready, and he's in college. You know what I'm saying? So he's throwing to these guys. They used to these college bombs. They're not used to an NFL bomb. You know what I'm saying? So I think he could end up in Minnesota. I honestly believe Drake May is going to the Patriots. I don't know why people don't believe me when I say that, but I honestly think that Drake May is going to the Patriots. It just seemed like the bonehead type of move that they've been making at quarterback for the last 4 years around in New England. They got Mac Jones when they could have got anybody else. You know, they went and got Mac Jones. They went and got they went and had Zappy Hour. You know, that's the type of moves that New England is going to make. They're going to go do another ball-headed move in my eyes and draft Drake May. Denver, I can see Denver with Michael Penix Jr. Honestly, that just seems like their type of style of guy who's going to be out there to get the job done. Do they still have Jerry Judy out there? Or did Jerry leave?
Jerry Judy is gone.
They
He's
traded
gone.
Jerry Judy.
Yeah, they traded him.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Michael Penix, because Denver. Let's see where they at on it. Where's Denver at in the first round? Where do they pick at?
Judy went to Cleveland. He's over there with Amari Cooper.
Ooh, that's gonna be ugly.
You said where's who? Minnesota?
Yeah, where do they pick?
They're at 11, I believe.
Ooh. So yeah, I mean, they could be set to get themselves another wide receiver and still be able to get a good quarterback.
So you think they go receiver first? You think they go receiver first? Yeah, they had 11. They had 2 picks in the first round, 11 and 23.
Yeah, they're gonna go receiver first, and then shoot, they might get Bo Nix.
Hey,
might get Bo Nix.
Hey now.
Hey.
I think that would be great for them. I think Bo Nix is the best. Again, to me, he had the best pro day, and I think he's the best prospect at quarterback in the draft, even better than Caleb Williams. Excuse me. I know Point don't want to hear that, but
Right.
That Bo Nix is a better prospect than Caleb Williams. I know you said that Caleb Williams. Point ain't gonna want to hear that, but from what I have seen with the pro days, I don't think Bo Nix missed a pass in his pro day. I think he hit on every single pass he passed in the pro day. I mean, he looked good to me. So
pro day don't got defenses.
Against the defense, he had 45 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and 3 interceptions. Those was against defenses this year.
I'm just saying, pro day is not against the defense, man. It's not against,
right.
top level competition. And I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I do not feel like Caleb Williams is right now Patrick Mahomes at all. But I feel like he can make the throws like Pat can make. And I feel like he is pretty efficient when it comes to this. You done, Big Son, so I can get my quarterback list in? Can you hear me?
Big Son, you still there? You still with us? Go ahead, point. Take it over.
Yeah,
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
gotta
Did
take
you finish? Did you finish? Oh, did you finish up?
Repeat the question.
No,
Nah,
did you
I just
finish
want to make
up?
sure you finish
Yeah.
for the quarterbacks.
Oh no. I won't finish.
Yeah.
Like I say, everybody, keep on talking about some. The Bears might go up. The Bears are going to pick Caleb Williams, y'all. They're going to pick Caleb Williams. They got rid of Justin Fields. They want the next big name to come in here to help them sell some tickets. What a better way to be able to sell some tickets to go grab Caleb Williams, to be honest. And it's not like they're going to lose out. Let's not forget, people. They got the number 1 pick and the number 9 pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they could potentially. I don't see Chicago. I don't see Chicago drafting the wide receiver though. Do y'all? With that 9th pick, I don't see them drafting wide receiver. I
No,
think
because
they might lineman
No, they're not.
or linebacker.
You know they got Keenan Allen now. So why would you draft a wide receiver when you got DJ
Why
Moore and
wouldn't
Keenan
you?
Allen?
Keenan Allen old as dirt. Why wouldn't you?
Because you got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. You still got DJ
Yeah,
Moore.
but bro, come on. You need 3. You need 3. And it's good for you to draft him.
You
So
need
by
a
the
quarterback
time that
first.
Keenan is gone, he will already be set in stone and developed into the play he's supposed to be.
Nah, you need a quarterback first in that situation.
Nah, Caleb, you got him. You got
Yeah,
Caleb.
you gotta draft Caleb. That's what I'm saying. So you don't
No, I'm
draft a wide
saying
receiver.
the 9th pick. They're 9th.
Oh, they probably gonna draft a left tackle.
Yeah, they're either gonna go tackle or receiver to me. It's too much good money out there at receiver. You can get you a tackle. Y'all picking early. You can get you a tackle, bro. It's a plethora of them.
If you got literally 2 Pro Bowl caliber receivers on your team, why would you draft another one in the first round when you can get one in the 3rd round? You can get a good quality receiver in the 3rd round in this draft.
Yeah, good quality, but I'm talking about money. These are money players, bro. You got to remember, some of these players are generational talent, and like Vito was saying, a lot of these wide receivers that these top 15 guys, they're going to play for a long time, and they're going to be something. You know what I'm saying? So why not get one of the top tier guys? Because Allen is not going to be there. The next 2 years, the next 2 years, you look at Keenan going to be gone. So you're going to need that generational talent that came out, and you're going to pass up on the generational talent just because you got Keenan.
Keenan gonna be there. Keenan gonna be there for at least 3 years.
But guess what? What if Keenan Moore to slow up that 3rd year?
You still got DJ Moore, and by then you should have drafted. And by then you should have drafted another wide receiver.
Yeah, but this wide receiver class is special though, bro.
Let me ask you this point: if you had a chance to get Rome at that,
you hear me? At 9, you pass Rome up.
Are you going to pass Rome up?
No.
Yeah.
What? What?
No.
I'm gonna if I get Caleb Williams, my number 9 pick will be one of the best tackles there available.
I'm trying to save it.
I wouldn't pass up Rome. Let me say that. I wouldn't pass up one of the big 3. I call them the big 3. Rome, Caleb, Rome, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Neighbors. That's the big 3. I'm not passing up none of the big 3.
Yeah, nah, I'm not passing up Rome.
I respect what y'all saying.
Huh?
I respect what y'all saying, right? But if I draft Caleb Williams, knowing the problems Justin Fields had last year with protection, I gotta draft the left tackle immediately. Just my opinion.
But you're gonna pass up the big 3 though. You're gonna pass up one of the big 3. You got a chance to get one of the big 3.
Yeah, because I already got 2 good receivers. I already got 2 receivers already.
Yeah, but he's gonna be gone though, bro.
DJ Moore could be a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. I'm not saying he's made the Pro Bowl. I'm saying the caliber of the type of play he's played. You know, the type of numbers he can put up. He has potential to be a Pro Bowl player.
Right.
Keenan Allen is a Pro Bowl player. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't need a third wide receiver right now. If I do get a third wide receiver, right? Say I do get a third wide receiver. This receiving class so deep, like y'all been saying, I could get another good bomb wide receiver in the second round
But
or the
you
third
ain't getting
round.
that. You ain't getting that big three receiver.
Right, the
I
big
don't need
three,
them.
baby. The big
If
three.
Tuesday come across my boy and I'm the Bears, I'm going to get him. Is it a plethora of tackles out here, and they won't even have licked the pot of what the plethora of tackles is by the ninth pick, and you're going to be
Right,
picking again
right,
early, like 33. Man, please, I'm getting
right.
one of the big three if I can
I'm
get
getting
them.
Yeah, the
that's
big
what I'm
three,
saying.
baby.
I'm getting a top tackle though because if
You,
I pick Caleb,
Mims,
listen,
Mims will
right now,
be there.
bro, listen, right
Mims will
now,
be there at 33.
he might, he might,
He
he
may, he
might
may
not.
not
He
though.
might
He
be
may
gone
not.
at
He
20.
may not. He may not. Well,
He
let me
might be
ask
gone
you.
at 20.
So
But
at quarterback. So let's go back to quarterback.
got to do it out of Washington, the Beast.
Let,
Fuego.
let's go back to quarterback. Let's make sure we stick on the quarterback. So at quarterback, because that's what the people came to see. Quarterback.
Yeah,
What you got going on, big son, as far as the other teams, what you got for the Redskins, and then what you have went over. But let's, we got some new viewerships in. We got some new viewers in. So go over what you got for the
Jaden
Redskins and
Daniels.
for the rest of the guys going on. And try to
Jaden
give me
Daniels, man.
why
I'm
you say
telling
that.
y'all. Jaden Daniels. We will pick Jaden Daniels at that number 2 pick. Bears is going to pick Caleb Williams. New England is going to pick Drake May. The Giants.
Do you think it's a chance that Washington picks Drake May?
No,
Why?
I don't think. I don't think that would be a smart play on their behalf.
Ain't what that's not
Only
the
reason why
question
I
though.
say this is because y'all just got rid of a Tar Heel that
Okay,
y'all thought was
got
pretty good.
got you,
We just had a Tar Heel here.
got you.
And you let him get out the building. So I think that would be an absolute destruction of a move for y'all to go and draft Drake May. And you already had a Tar Heel here. You already know what they're giving. So that would be an absolute destruction of a move to go draft Drake May, in my eyes.
Got you. Because Sam Howell went to North Carolina as well.
As well. And Sam Howell was good.
Got you.
Now, do we know what Sam would have done this year? No, we don't. But I think Sam would have probably had a better year than what he did last year.
I agree with you there. I agree
I
with you
can agree
there.
with that.
I agree with you with that.
No.
And last year he had 3,900 yards. So him having a better year is probably him going to the Pro Bowl and possibly having one of the better seasons in Redskins history. Right now, that season he had last year, it was 6th all time in passing yards for in the history of the Redskins, which dates back all the way to 1933, ladies and gentlemen. So him having a better season than last year is saying a lot. Now, what about the other teams? What you got for the other teams?
I don't think Giants will draft a quarterback. Like I say, Denver could probably end up with Bo Nix. With them looking for a quarterback, Denver could probably end up with Bo Nix. Atlanta won't draft no quarterback. Like I said, I think the Minnesota Vikings probably could possibly get their hands on Joe Milton. Let's see who else here. Who else do we have here? I don't see because that was like the first eight picks. I don't think the Saints. Well, I don't know. The Saints might.
They got. I mean,
The
Carr had a
Saints
really
might
good
be in
season.
the,
Carr had a really good season last year, though. To be honest, Carr had a really good season.
but still, you know how much time do Carr got left?
You right.
Carr's
You right.
still young.
You know,
Carr's
so
still young.
he's young, but you know what I'm saying. This is the NFL, and the life of the quarterback, you know, here lately
I
has
think
been
Carr still
shortened.
got some time. I got to think
Carr's
about it.
actually 33 years old. Carr's 33 years old, so he's not young.
That's what I'm saying.
He's 33 years old.
I mean, I think he still got some time though. When you say like he at least got 3 years, 36, 37 years old type of thing, 3, 4 years. So, but that's what I mean by young. Like today's quarterback, they don't play like back in the day. They used to get like pummeled around. So I don't think they played as long. Now somebody like Carr, barring any major injury, he's going to play another 3, 4 years.
So you don't got the Saints drafting the quarterback in this draft high like that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, not a high.
What you think, Big Son? It's your time to shine anyway. So
You
what you
said the
think? What you got on
Saints.
the Saints?
I
Yeah,
think. I think they. Hmm. That'll be interesting. See, with these guys not drafting quarterbacks early like that, um, it's going to shift the trajectory of the draft. If you ask me, um, I would like to see the Saints draft a quarterback, because what if Derek Carr gets hurt? He goes down. Anything, you know. And if you get a potential to get a Bo Nix, if Denver passes up on Bo Nix, Saints, so y'all gonna pass up on Bo Nix?
that's real. I think he would go really good with that Saints offense, though. Bo Nix with what he does, he's not too far off of Derek Carr. I believe they have a quick release, same type of quick. He might be a little bit more accurate than Derek Carr too. To be
I
honest,
think he
no,
is.
no, no shade on Derek Carr, but Bo Nix might be accurate. Bo Nix passing completion percentage last year was 77.3. So I mean, this guy's super accurate, and you saw that in his pro day. His pro day was really good. For those who didn't watch it, make sure you go out and watch Bo Nix's his pro day. I don't think he missed a pass in the pro day, and he whether it was long, short, whatever, he kept the ball in play. He had a couple, maybe one or two underthrows, but I would rather you underthrow it than overthrow it. You overthrow it or throw it out of bounds. You do not give your receiver an opportunity to make a play on the ball. And that's
Mm.
ultimately all you really can do is give your receiver a chance. But when you throw it out of bounds or you overthrow it, you do not give them a chance.
Yeah, so I will. If I was the Saints in Denver, and Atlanta's not going to draft a quarterback, but Denver passed up on Bo Nix, I would grab him,
Absolutely.
regardless of where Derek Carr is. I would grab him.
Absolutely.
You got to think about the future.
They do need a receiver though. They lost Michael Thomas. I think they could get. That's who I'm scared is going to get. What's my
Brian.
man Thomas?
Brian
Brian
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah,
That
Brian.
is who I'm scared going to get. Brian
Yeah, that's.
Thomas.
I didn't want to say nothing, but that's what I think the Saints are drafting. I think the Saints are for sure drafting a wide receiver. Just my opinion. And so, you know, just
You,
how I look at it.
do y'all think Big Son? It's on you right now. Do you think it's a chance that Rome falls to the Saints?
No, 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 no. I think that the Giants will grab him.
And
To be honest
so
with
you think they're going to draft him over Neighbors?
Nah, neighbors. I think they drafted neighbors number 4.
Because that's what
I
I
think.
had too. I got them
I
drafting
think
Neighbors.
if
I'm
you,
with
we,
you on that one
the
point.
I think if
Giants
we
pick,
don't draft Marvin Harrison,
Giants pick
I
is at 5, y'all.
5.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Like, so I look at it like this. Um, so gotta go to first pick is going to Chicago, and I think they drafted Caleb Williams. So
Yeah, that's for
we
sure.
so our pick is really the first pick in the draft. So our pick is going to dictate what everybody else does, right?
Mm.
So if
Absolutely.
if we draft say if we draft Marvin Harrison, right? Then of course Malik Neighbors is going to my bad. Say we draft Marvin Harrison. Jaden Daniels, I could see going to, even though that's not their style of player, I could see going to JJ McCarthy going to New England. So you got the Patriots, right? And so right after the Patriots, you got Arizona, who I can see drafting a wide receiver. So I think Marvin Harrison will go right there if we don't draft him, right? So he'll go 4. Malik Neighbors will go 5. I don't know who's 6.
Uh, hold on. 6. Let me get the draft board up. I you think Malik Yates is going 5 to who? The Giants?
Yes. No. Yeah. They the 5th pick. Yeah. Malik Neighbors going 5 to the Giants.
Okay. Let me get the draft order up. Let me get the full draft order up. Um, the 6th
So
overall pick is the New York Giants is the 6th. They're not 5. The Chargers is 5.
Okay, the Chargers is 5. So I could see the Chargers
Chargers
potentially
gonna grab
grabbing.
elite. They're gonna grab
Yeah,
elite.
that's what I'm saying. I could present.
Let me
They gonna
ask you
grab
this.
Rome.
Let me
They
ask
might
y'all
grab
this.
Rome.
What is the chance that they drag Calhoun or what's his name, the running back out from out Michigan? I don't want to butcher his name. I about to call him Calhoun. I know that ain't his name.
Uh, nah, I don't think he. I don't think he goes first round. You know, the running back position has been diminished a lot in the NFL.
Blake Corum.
Yeah, I just don't see them drafting a running back in the first round unless it's late first round because the running back position has been diminished so much in the NFL. And then after the Chargers letting go of Mike Williams, I can definitely see them going after another wide receiver.
I can see that.
And so that's why I'm saying that. Now the Chargers may also choose J.J. McCarthy.
Hold on. So let me let Big
Yeah,
Son finish up because you got a lot to
go
say.
ahead.
I want to get to you
Go
so
ahead.
that you can dive through everything. Big Son, what do you have this draft order looking like right now? What do you got here? Because this is now getting real juicy. We didn't throw the Chargers in there. We've been missing the Chargers this whole time. The Chargers does throw a monkey wrench into the plans. What do you got going on with this draft order? 1 through 10. What you got right now? Or just in
Oh,
general.
all right, we can go to 1 through 10.
Yeah, let's go 1 through 10.
I'm pretty sure y'all might be a little shocked. So now that I think about it, Caleb Williams definitely going. We could possibly see now. Looking at what we looked at about the Saints and everything is really tricky now because if you don't draft Jaden Daniels, you're really kind of leaving yourself out there on the limb to start the season with Mariota.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can get a Joe Mill, but what if people get a little anxious, like, oh, they're snatching up all the quarterbacks, start looking around and like, we need one too, you know? So that could definitely happen. So you kind of at a point right now where you have to draft Jaden Daniels. If you ask me, you have to draft Jaden Daniels because if you don't, then if you don't draft Jaden Daniels, you're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And if you don't do that, you're going to trade back. So there's only 3 scenarios that can go that way. And to me, the best scenario, it didn't play out too bad when I traded back yesterday. It actually was good. But looking at what we looked at today, that's a little scary in my eyes because there's other teams out there that potentially could pick up on Knicks. You know, not saying that it's not other quarterbacks out there, but quarterbacks that we particularly have an eye on. You know what I'm saying? We're really not looking at too many other guys than but a couple. You know, so I think honestly we draft Jaden, and right after us is the
Right after us
Patriots.
is the Patriots. Yeah.
I think the first 3 picks might be a quarterback frenzy. I don't think the Patriots draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
No, I was saying the Cardinals.
No, the Patriots are after us. The first
Right.
3
I don't
picks
think. Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be
I think they drafted a quarterback.
the first 3 picks could be quarterbacks off the board. Boom. So that would leave you with possibly McCartney or Drake May still on the board. And then it goes on down, from there. But so you got 3 quarterbacks coming off the board, the first 3 picks. So that means that Marvin Harrison Jr. would be the 4th pick. I believe that the Chargers go grab Joe Oak because Herbert needs help along that line. He needs help, and his blind side is I think is the most important side that he needs help at, in the position that he needs help at. To better him along as a quarterback and not have to be so worried about getting hit or sacked or rushed, as much as he has been last year. Let's see how many. So that was Joe Alt. That was 5th, right? That's so Joe Alt. So neighbors could potentially go to the Giants. That could potentially be what happens. Neighbors go to the Giants. Now, when you think of it in that aspect, you would want to get Marvin Harrison Jr. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got another dog like a Malik Neighbors in the NFC East. So, you know, they would potentially have their dog. Philly got their dog at AJ. We would definitely have to have a dog ourselves. Um, Cowboys got their dog, CeeDee Lamb. So, I mean, everybody say that, oh, we have our dog McLaurin, but we talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. When you talk about McLaurin. Not saying that McLaurin ain't a dog, but we talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. Whole different accolade. So, um, yeah. Malik at what, 6? So 7. Who's at 7? The Titans, right? I think the Titans might go a doozy. I mean, Rome. I think the Titans might go Rome. Rome might end up in Tennessee. So Rome end up in Tennessee. Then that leaves the Falcons. I believe the Falcons go lineman, offensive tackle. Then after the Falcons and the tackle they probably get, because Joe will be gone, they probably get the guy out of Washington. Troy. Yeah, they probably get Troy out of Washington. And then after the 8th pick, the 9th pick is the Bears. Back to the Bears. So now Rome off the board at this point. Who else is left in the wide receiver category? Because that's why I believe that 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 the Bears go. No, the Bears get a tackle too. Bears get a tackle too. And it might be my man Mims, sad to say. It might be my man Mims. Might be Mims. So who's 10? 10 is
Who do you got for Alt? Where you got Alt going?
Alt going to the
Is it the
to the
Chargers?
Chargers.
Okay,
To
you
the
got
Chargers.
Alt going to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have them drafting a receiver.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Herbert need help along that line.
Okay.
He definitely need help along that line. Herbert had a lot of let me see. Let me not even quote because I hate to quote. But I like the guy Herbert. But I think he just had a lot of sacks last year. Let's see. What was his sack total? Yeah, so that's my lineup for my first 10. Three quarterbacks on the board, the first 3 picks, more than likely. And then everything has started to change up after that. You know, Harrison to go to the Cardinals. Alt will go to the Chargers. Malik will go to the Giants. 7th pick is Tennessee. Tennessee will get a tackle as well. The Falcons tackle as well. No, Tennessee gonna get Rome. Tennessee gonna take Rome. I believe they take Rome. If I'm them, I do that anyway because I gotta replace AJ, who I lost. I haven't been the same since I lost AJ anyway. So I would do that. Then, like I said, the Falcons, they're gonna take a tackle. Who's after the Falcons? The Bears. The Bears going the Bears. The Bears should take a tackle. I think it'll be wide receivers left out there. The Bears should take a tackle.
Okay.
And I don't know who's after the Bears.
The Jets.
Ooh. Dang, that's kind of interesting. Do you? Whoa, wow. We might be saying bye-bye to Troy.
You think the Jets draft? Do you think they're going to draft the? You don't think they draft the quarterback? There's no chance that they get Knicks. They let him sit a year behind Rodgers. Oh, but no, they still no, because they still had Wilson. Wilson in that contract.
I'm about to say that
Yeah,
money.
Wilson in that contract. Yeah,
tied up in Wilson.
Yeah,
I'll say they probably go lineman or wide receiver.
Yeah,
that's my guess with them.
All right, Point. What you got, Point? What you got?
So I got. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, making sure. So I got Caleb Williams going number 1 to the Bears. I got Jaden Daniels going number 2 to Washington. I got J.J. McCarthy going number 3 to the Patriots. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. going number 4 to the Cardinals. I got Brock Bowers going number 5 to the Chargers. I got Malik Neighbors going number 6 to the Giants. I got Joe Alt going 7 to the Titans. I got Fuega, the Oregon State left tackle, going number 8 to the Falcons. I got Troy Fatanu going number 9, the Washington offensive tackle, going number 9 to the Bears. And I got J.C. Latham going number 10 to the Jets.
So let me ask you, with your board, so you have Malik Neighbors being on the board for the Chargers to draft with what they have over there and the quarterback they have over there. You got them passing up Malik Neighbors?
Huh? Yeah, I got them going Brock Bowers.
Over Malik Neighbors.
This is the reason I'm saying Brock Bowers over Malik Neighbors. Because I feel like one thing about Jim Harbaugh, right? He's always had a top tight end. And he's always had somebody that can block for that running back position. I do see them potentially grabbing Neighbors. So I'm not saying Neighbors is out for them. I do think they need a wide receiver, but I think with all the wide receiver talent I think with all the wide receiver talent, I think that it's very possible that they want to show up the best tight end and then go get a wide receiver in that next in the next round, or either Corum in the next round. So I do think that wide receiver is a need, but I see other needs there. And from what I can see on Jim Harbaugh, I know he likes to run the ball. He likes a big tight end that can block.
So, yeah, I will have to agree with you on that, Leo. As far as him getting somebody to block, and that's in the pass game and in the running game. Justin Herbert was sacked 29 times last year on 297 dropbacks. So that means every 10 plays he got sacked.
Yeah, and so I can also see these are the three things. I think the Chargers is very interesting because I think they can draft either a left tackle, a wide receiver, or a tight end. Either one. But a tight end is the person that gives you both wide receiver and blocker.
Correction. I stand corrected. Every 15 plays, he had 456 snaps. He completed 297, but he had 456 attempts. So every 15 plays, he was looking at that sack. So that needs to be corrected. Yeah. And he only had 20 touchdowns last year, which is not a good year in my eyes from Justin Herbert.
But y'all still got them passing up Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, they got to show that lineup. They got to show that lineup. I don't know about
that one. That's the question mark for me. I don't know if the Chargers do that. Because I think you still, like you said, Big Son, you was the main one said it. They can...
Mike Williams and Keenan Allen is gone.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree about. Listen,
and then the Chargers still have the 37th pick.
Right, and that's why I think that the 37th pick goes to a wide receiver. If they're not going to draft Corum, I think Corum is
Well,
very much in play for the Chargers.
if they draft, if they wait to 37, the only guy I think will be right there at the 37 is Troy Franklin. And that's a good
Frank,
daggone pick if you ask me. That's a good daggone pick if you ask.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Troy
saying.
Franklin
They
is a
got
good pick.
options.
It's a good pick.
They got a lot of options at wide receiver, which is why I think they either go left tackle or they go tight end. Because they need somebody to protect Justin Herbert. He's way too good of a quarterback to be getting sacked as much as he does.
That's a good pick. That's a good
Yeah,
pick.
yeah. So
But I don't know. I don't know that they pass up. I just cannot see them passing up Malik Neighbors. I just can't see it.
okay.
Without them having, like Big Son said, why would you get rid of your two? That's the question. Well, let me ask you, why would they get rid of their two top receivers if they didn't plan on drafting a receiver top in this draft?
Well, Keenan Allen, I think that they was trying to. One, Mike Williams was hurt a lot. You get what I mean? Mike Williams was hurt a whole lot. Keenan Allen is a little bit older, so he has been having some injuries. But I think Mike Williams is the reason why they just like let him go. Just my opinion.
So at quarterback, you got Washington ultimately taking Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, not thinking Jaden Daniels is going to be, um, and like I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that stay around for a couple rounds. He's not going to slip too far.
So, but you think Washington, if they don't, let me ask you the same question I asked Big Son. Is there a chance that Washington drafts Drake May?
No, no chance.
Is there a chance that Chicago drafts Jaden Daniels?
Yes, there is a chance. Small chance. Very small chance.
So if Chicago drafts Jaden Daniels, what does Washington do at that point?
They draft Caleb Williams.
Nonetheless, you think in this draft, there will be a 1 and a 2 quarterback, basically. Either one way or the other way, flip-flop.
No. I don't believe that. I do think that there's a very good chance of that. But I don't believe that. I still think, like I said, Washington is a new management organization, and for them to solidify a spot right now, I don't think they've done. You know, I don't think they've decided exactly what they're going to do. So I can't say for a definitive thing that that's 1 and 2 because they could all, like I said, the draft starts with them. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, it will be a huge curveball if Chicago decided to go with Jaden Daniels. But ultimately, I really don't see that happening.
Let me ask you this. Is there a chance that the Redskins don't pick a quarterback until the 3rd round and they say, hey, Marcus Mariota is as our quarterback that we're picking to move forward with this season?
Yeah, there's a very good chance of that. And see, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, there's a very, very, very good chance that they say, you know what? Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, man, these are guys you can't just give up on. Or Brock Bowers, he's really high rated up there, and we really don't have a tight end. We got Zach Ertz. So
So
I
you're
think
going to get Brock Bowers with your number 2 overall pick, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't do that. I think they would trade back a couple spots and maybe draft somebody like Bowers. So what
You
I'm
think
saying,
it's a chance that Brock Bowers at tight end? What about you, Big Son? What you feel about this? You think it's a chance that Washington in his first 10, 15 picks drafts Brock Bowers as at a tight
No,
end as one of the higher picks?
no. When we had Herb Bieniemy still on staff, there was a lot of talk about Brock Bowers. Then that talk slowly dwindled away once we picked up Zach Ertz and not let go, but Herb Bieniemy resigned and he went a step away from the organization. Those talks quickly diminished. I personally don't think we even paying no type of attention to Brock Bowers at this moment.
I do.
You got the guy out of Texas, Javante Sanders. You got Jared Wiley out of TCU. You got Benson out of Washington State. It's a plethora of guys. You got Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. There's other guys out there that can ball too. So we're not
Yeah.
worried about Brock Bowers at this point. It's too much other good real estate out there for us to be worried about than some Brock Bowers at this point.
No, I'm not saying that they's the top guy. What I'm saying is that there's a potential that they trade with, let's say, Minnesota. You get what I'm saying? If we trade our second pick with Minnesota, we are at number 11 at this point. You know what I'm saying? Now we might get other, huh?
Brock will be gone.
Nah, Brock might be gone, but then again, he might not. You know what I'm saying? So it just changes the draft trajectory if we do trade back. And if we do trade back, that makes me a lot more curious on who we actually are looking at to draft. We started fielding, yesterday we started fielding calls for that number 2 pick again.
Oh, let me ask you this. What is the chance that they trade back?
I think it's a 30, 35 to 40% chance that they trade back. I think it's a very high possibility.
45?
Nah, I'm gonna say 45. I said 35 to 40.
40.
Yeah.
40% chance. So it's a 60%,
Yeah.
only a 60% chance that they use this pick in your mind. What's your percentage over there, Big
60
Son?
to 65, yeah.
60 to 60.
65.
What you got, Big Son, on that? What you think?
What percentage that they use?
What is the percentage that the Redskins are going to trade away that first pick?
I think it's up in the 70s. About
70?
72%.
You think it's a 70% chance?
That
That means it's only a 30% chance that they're actually going to use that second pick.
Yeah, if they get the right deal, bro, they're going to trade back. They get the right jump, I'm telling you, they're going to trade back.
Well, Dan Quinn specifically said it needed to be a Herschel Walker trade type of thing. So that's why I had it at 60%, because I only think it's at most 40% somebody offers them that.
Well, what is a Herschel Walker type of trade then? Can you define it? What you got?
Mean,
what is the minimum?
Players.
What is the minimum that they take? What is the minimum offer in your mind where they actually use that?
7 players, 6 players. I'm talking 6 players maybe. So we talking
I want
3 first rounds, three first rounds and a second or a couple seconds and a couple thirds maybe.
What you got on that, Big Sir?
I would say 2 first rounders, 2 second, and 1 third. That's probably what it would be.
Let's say 2 search. Let's say they offer 2 first rounders this year's and next year's, right? This year's and next year's first round and 2 thirds. You think they take it?
Yeah, I think I can see them doing that. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then I would think that 70% is a good percentage. Because you're gonna get somebody who offers you that.
No, you're not.
They're going.
I don't know.
No,
Somebody's going to offer them that. And if it's the right and they'll drop them too far
I think so.
away from where they're trying to be at, they're going to take it.
So basically, hold up. So basically, Big Son, your based on what you're saying, your number 1 pick or number 1 prediction is a trade back.
Yeah.
Based on what you're saying, your number 1 overall position on it is that you feel like they're going to trade back. And what's your number 1 overall position on this point? Even though, and let me ask you, Big Son, even though they traded away Sam Howell now, Sam Howell's gone. No Sam Howell. Even with the trade with Sam Howell, you think they still move back?
Yeah, because it's a lot of quarterback options out there. It's a lot of QB.
I still think they move back because like I say, they I still think they move back. They don't want Drake May. They they could draft Jane Daniels. You know, they could draft Marvin Harrison Jr. But if you get a blockbuster trade like that thrown at you, all you start doing is like, all right, look, we really about to be able to build now. I thought we was on to something, but now we really on to something. You know, so in my eyes, that's why my percentage is so strong because they're going to throw the book at them boys.
Mm.
I
I'm
don't
telling you.
think that I
You
don't
got
think
you
that
got you
anybody that
got Marvin
needs.
Harrison Jr., and Caleb Williams, Jay Daniels, them three right there alone. If you don't pick one of them and somebody like, oh, they wanted that guy and that guy becomes available, somebody's going to throw the book at Washington to try to get him. And I just
Honestly,
think
the only way
Washington
I
takes
see
the
us
deal.
trading that pick, though, just being 100, the only way I see us really trading that pick is if Jaden Daniels goes number one. So if we don't draft Caleb, we
Not
can definitely
necessarily because you
trade
still
that
got
pick.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
So you think
You
they
Um,
still got
they
Marvin
passed
Harrison
up?
Jr. though.
I don't think that we really looking at Marvin Harrison.
So
I
you
do.
think
I
they
just
passed
don't.
up on Caleb Williams and trade back?
Me, I wouldn't know. I would draft Caleb Williams
No, I'm saying, do you think that the Redskins would do that?
potentially. Maybe depends on the trade.
What's your percentage on them actually doing something like that with Caleb Williams
I,
on the
I,
board?
I cannot tell you because I couldn't tell you what somebody would give up. But if they, like I said, if they talking 7 players, then I don't think that there's anybody in the draft that Adam Peters wouldn't trade for 3 first round picks and two second rounds and maybe a third round. I don't think there's anybody on the board that he wouldn't do that for. But it literally got to be a gutting your team ransom type of trade.
Mm.
And I think that we've all learned from that. I think that most NFL teams have learned from that in the past. You know what I mean? You don't give up that
Yeah,
much stock on your team.
just 'cause you've been there, I mean you ain't got a hard head though.
I just don't think GMs now is giving up that much stock on their team. I
I
just
don't
don't.
know, man.
Man, that's a lot of stock to give up, bro. Like you got to understand that you are saying fuck my next 3 drafts, basically.
Yeah,
So do you think that they actually say that?
I
You
do.
think they actually?
I honestly do.
What gives you that indication that they're gonna actually say fuck my next 3 drafts? I mean,
If they
and
if
I really don't think
generational
any of
talent
those
pop up.
offers have been. And don't get me wrong, if it's a blockbuster, I truly 100 million% see them doing it. But I don't think unless it's got to be a real true blockbuster trade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think particularly think it has to be a blockbuster trade, in my opinion. No. Let me say this. I believe that trading Sam Howell pushes you in a corner where you have to get Jaden Daniels. And again, going back to what I initially said in the beginning of the broadcast, shout out to everybody out there that's new, that's listening. This is the Nature Sports Podcast. Again, make sure that you subscribe if you get the opportunity at IDIE Hard Skins or Die Hard Skins on Twitter and on Facebook. You can just search the Nature Sports Network. On any of them, you can search the Nature DC hashtag, the Nature DC, regular spelling, right there, the Nature DC. You can search that and go ahead and follow the page, man. Make sure you're keeping up. Again, what I said in the beginning of the broadcast, and I have constantly said, is I'm not sure that they pass up Jayden Daniels specifically because I feel like Josh Hurts is trying to build this team in the mode of the Baltimore Ravens. And if you're going to do that, then Jayden Daniels would be the way to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, but see, this is the thing. Like I said, if that's his dream, say he say, all right, look, I really like the Ravens team. I want to build my team around the Ravens, right? Now, you got Jaden
Mhm.
Daniels right here. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful thing, right? You got you some good running backs or whatever. Our running backs is not Ravens type running backs though. Brian Robinson maybe, but that's about it. You know, our tight end Zach Ertz. You could say he's a Ravens type of tight end, but like, is he? You know,
I mean, right now they do have the guy from Oklahoma. I forgot his name. They
Mark
do have
Andrews
Mark Andrews, right? Mark Andrews,
and
and
Mark
it.
Andrews. And Mark Andrews is not Zach Ertz. Mark Andrews is a different animal. Zach Ertz is more like a finesse guy. Mark Andrews is straight power. He's a catching, run a little bit. He's like a Gronk, a smaller Gronk type of person. He's not that much smaller. But I'm just saying, like a little bit smaller than Gronk, but Gronk's style of play.
I think they're close.
Yeah.
I think they're close.
Yeah, they're close, but they're not. That's not a
And they
Ravens.
all also have Isaiah Likely. I think Isaiah Likely takes that position this year
Yeah.
from Andrews. I don't even think that Andrews is going to be the starter throughout the year. I think that even, and shout out to all the Ravens fans out there that's listening. I believe that with Isaiah Likely, he did not get enough playing time. He didn't get the ball enough in the AFC Championship, and that was one of the bigger reasons why they did not win that game, is because Isaiah Likely was flushed out because Andrews came back, made a miraculous comeback. Of course, he had an injury. He was supposed to be out, but the fact that he wasn't, he came back in the AFC Championship game, and I believe that might have hurt some of the chemistry that was already there with Likely, because Likely had been playing for, I think, about 6 or 7, maybe 10 weeks straight. I could be wrong, but he played about 10 weeks straight, I believe. And so that kind of messed up a little bit of the chemistry that he had built with Likely. Just my opinion. And I think that they would have had a better chance to win with Isaiah Likely in there, outside of Mark Andrews.
Well, I mean, not disagreeing, but like I said, if you try to build this team like that, then Jaden Daniels is a good pick, right? Just my opinion. And this might be just my opinion. I feel like because you look at Bo Nick Saban and look how accurate he is, and look what he can do. I think Adam Peters can change the owner's mind on that, because he could say, "Man, look, this guy's phenomenal. Look at him; he's a beast." And showing him Jaden Daniels, and then you can win us a Super Bowl because look how accurate he is, and that potentially can change his mind. Not saying that that's the way that he did or the way that he said it or any of that, but I think that could potentially change your owner's mind when you got your GM that is a good scout telling you this is the guy.
Let me ask y'all both opinions. What is the chance that the Washington
And we don't have
Red
to spend a first round pick on him.
what is the chance that Washington Redskins draft Marvin Harrison Jr. number 2 overall? What the chances? What the chances are for that? What do y'all got?
I
Uh,
think it's really low. I think it's about a 20%. I think it's about a 20%,
mm,
15%.
What you got on that, big son?
I think it's a little higher than that. I think it may be around like a 35, maybe
Yo,
even
35?
37%, maybe even 37% of the draft, because you got to think about it. Like, we just got rid of
Hold
Samuels.
on, hold up though. Now the numbers ain't, your math ain't mathing, baby. Your
Big
math
son, you
ain't
breaking
mathing.
up. I can't really hear you.
Bad thing, because I'm talking about what might potentially happen. So the
Right.
reason why we draft them is if we can't get our hands on Dame, so we might draft him. I don't think we draft Caleb
I don't
Williams
think that we draft.
if Caleb is dead. I don't
I
think we
do.
draft. I think we draft what's the name over Caleb.
I mean, we've been
But
to
you said it was a 70% chance that we trade the pick. And then you said it
yeah.
was a 35% chance
Yeah,
that we, you
yeah,
saying out of
that
the
we because
100%. And so out of the one, if we do draft, you're
if
saying,
we don't get him, because
right.
if we don't
I
get
get you now.
him,
Okay.
it's a high chance that we draft Marvin Harrison.
Okay. You're saying if we draft at all, it is a high chance that we're going to draft, 35% chance that we do draft Marvin Harrison Jr. if we decide to draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they don't take the trade back, they more than likely gonna get him. Oh.
So let me ask y'all this. What is the chance that they draft Malik Neighbors with that number 2 pick?
I don't think it's a chance.
You think it's 0?
Yeah, I don't think it's a chance.
Wow. What you got on that point? What is the percentage if they decide to draft? What is the percentage do you think that they use that number 2 overall pick on Malik Neighbors? Now, give the
About
factor. Hold on, let's get down now. Let's talk about the history of this pick now at this point. Malik Neighbors would be following the footsteps of the last 2 receivers to come out of LSU have been super impactful. One of them being Jamar Chase, who he led that team along with the quarterback there. He led that team to the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl. Coming out of there, and he was highly impactful. Same thing with the Jet. Same thing with the Jet over there in Minnesota. They've been highly impactful. So what is the chances that Washington then looks at that and say, hey, man, we might can use that. We're going to go ahead and go Neighbors.
I think it's really low.
Mm.
I think it's extremely low. I think that it's about a 10% chance. I think that if you do draft a wide receiver, despite Malik Neighbors' production, I think you draft Marvin Harrison simply because Marvin Harrison was out there not by himself, but when we talking draft picks, by himself. I think Brian Thomas is to me just as good of a prospect as Malik Neighbors, and so because of that, I think you said you got Jaden. Listen, I think you said you got Jaden Daniels there, right? And then you got Malik Neighbors there, another star player, and then you got Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. over there, right?
Right.
So you got those 3 guys, but in Ohio State you got Marvin Harrison. Now, don't get me wrong, they had other players on the field and other players did well. But when we say production, who's the guy that you're going to zoom in on? Who's the guy that you're trying to defend? Who's the guy that you're trying to stop? It was Marvin Harrison there, to where when you did LSU, you had multiple people that you had to kind of stop. And so I think that, when you see that, it's hard to say that Malik Neighbors is going to give that level of production. Not saying that he won't, because I think he will. But it's hard to say that that's going to resonate in the NFL better than with somebody like a Marvin Harrison, who everybody gained.
Yeah.
Well, let me read some numbers out to y'all. Let me read
If you
some
take
numbers out to you.
Hold up, let me finish.
Go ahead.
If you take a wide receiver, I think you take the Marvin Harrison. Don't get me wrong. I do think Malik Neighbors is a top 5 pick. I think at most drafts, he would be a top 3 pick. But in this draft, he's maybe a top 5, top 6.
Let me read some numbers. Justin Jefferson came out in 2020. His first season, he had 88 catches, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 71-yard long. In his second season, he had 108 catches, 1,600 yards, and 10 touchdowns. His third season, 128 catches, of 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns. And last year, this is with the injury, he had 68 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Total in 4 seasons, he has nearly 400 catches, 392 catches, over 5,000 yards in 4 seasons. He has 5,800 yards in 4 seasons and 30 touchdowns. Go over to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase came out the year after after Justin Jefferson. He came out in 2021. His first season in 2021, 81 catches, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. His second season in 2022, 87 catches, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. And last year, he had 100 catches, 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Total in 3 seasons, he has 268 catches, nearly 4,000 yards, 3,717 yards, and 29 touchdowns in 3 seasons.
Okay.
There is a pedigree there. You don't agree?
I agree.
So is that worth it? If you, let's say, take Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, you picked them number 2 overall, would you have missed on that pick?
In this draft, they probably would have been number 2 overall.
No, I'm saying let's say that we'll take Cincinnati. Let's say Cincinnati took Jamar Chase number 2 when they drafted him. Would they have missed on that pick? Would that have been a good pick based on the numbers he has now.
Yeah, but they picked Joe Burrow was the
I'm
number.
not saying. I'm not
Yeah,
saying. We
but
just hypothetically speaking.
yeah,
Would
no, they wouldn't have missed. But who's to say he would have that production if he wasn't playing with his quarterback right off the jump?
let's say they
Who's to
still
say?
had. Let's say somehow, some way they still had the quarterback. Just saying with those numbers. I mean, Justin Jefferson didn't have him over there.
No, he didn't, but he had Kirk Cousins. So I think that Kirk Cousins is a guy that that feeds his number one receiver. Adam Thielen got hurt that year that Jet came out. You know what I mean? So he was the number one guy off the jump. I mean, Kurt, don't get me wrong, but that's the one thing Kurt will do is get into his number one guy. With us, I don't think he understood that. I don't think he understood how to do that.
I'm just saying, if these guys were drafted number 2 overall, would it have
No,
been a
that's not a
miss?
myth.
Is that a
No, that's
miss?
not a myth. No, it's
Big
not a
Son,
miss.
what about you? What you feel on that? Is that a miss? Either one of them guys that they had to go number 2, and given the production they've had,
Who?
Justin Jefferson and
If who
Jamar
had to
Chase.
go number 2?
If Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase was selected number 2 overall, let's just say throw out wherever they were selected at, but let's just say hypothetically speaking, they were selected number 2, and that's the production you got. Was that a miss?
No, I don't think so. I
So
don't care if
that's
it's
my
number
question.
2. That's very high production.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
very high production.
So how could you pass that up if you got a
what I'm
chance?
saying is that they went to situations.
You're not even
Hold on.
getting out
All I'm saying
number
is that
2.
Huh? You
You
said
not
what?
even name one number 2 pick that you got out of
Right.
in the last
no,
10
what
years.
I'm saying. Listen.
I'll give the span of how long we've been doing the show. In the last 10 years, name me one number 2 receiver that you got that type of production out of in 3 years.
Number 2, well, nobody like Jamal Chase. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. Okay, nobody
like
Jamal
Justin
Chase.
Jefferson either.
I think, yeah, I'm not knocking neither one of those guys. Neither one of those guys I can right now just off the back say, but I can look into that a little bit.
We
I
drafted
just
Chase
wanna look
Young,
into that.
number 2 overall. We drafted Chase Young.
Oh,
Justin Jefferson
oh.
ended up going 22. 22. We had the number 2 pick that draft when Justin Jefferson was drafted. We ended up getting Chase Young and Justin Jefferson. And y'all know who did I want? I wanted Jefferson. Y'all know I wanted Jefferson. And so at 22, he got drafted. 22. So you had CeeDee Lamb in front of him, who was drafted in front of him. You had whatever wide receivers was drafted. CeeDee Lamb is the only wide receiver that was drafted in front of him thus far.
Yeah.
No, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was also drafted in front of him as well. And Jalen Rager. Jalen Rager for the Eagles was drafted one spot in front of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that was a bad pick. I don't know what the Eagles were thinking.
So that is my thing. If you take Chase Young, was that? I mean, who was a better pick? Was it Chase Young?
No, it was Justin Jefferson. But you gotta remember this too. Justin Jefferson is coming off of an injury now.
Prince
Williams. What he does.
Prince Williams asked why no JJ McCarthy. He asked this a while ago. My bad, Prince. I ain't see the comment till now. Prince Williams asked why no JJ McCarthy. I'm gonna let everybody go around the board with that.
My response, Prince, is go watch JJ McCarthy's pro day. That says it all. The boy is inaccurate. Overthrowing, underthrowing, not landing in there right, and all these slants. No. Throw the hard passes at your pro day. Don't nobody want to see you throw a 9. Anybody can throw that. Nobody want to see you throw that, bro. We want to see some post joints. We want to see some patterns, 10 and outs, 10 and ins. You know what I'm saying? Hit that post pad, get them hit them right on the numbers. Like, come on. Like, go watch that man pro day, Prince. Horrible. I guarantee you this. John Harbaugh won't pick him. I guarantee you that. Harbaugh won't pick him.
What you got on that point? What you got on that point? Why no JJ McCarthy?
I'm not against JJ McCarthy. I'm really not. I just think that there is better prospects to get, and I feel like if you want to do a trade, you can definitely trade. But I think looking at Michigan, looking at Tom Brady, looking at the history of the Patriots, looking at a lot of that. If the Patriots can get Jaden Daniels, of course they go get Jaden Daniels. But if not, I think they get JJ McCarthy. So I think JJ McCarthy at number 3 is perfect.
If you
So
were the Patriots and you had
I do not think they.
if you were the Patriots, you had a choice between Jaden Daniels and JJ McCarthy, which they probably is going to have the choice. Who do you get?
I mean, you get Jaden Daniels, straight up. You get Jaden Daniels.
Oh
Jaden
no, okay.
Daniels.
So if you have
They
a choice with Drake May, sorry, I said Jaden Daniels. I meant to say Drake May. You got the choice of Drake May or JJ McCarthy. Who do you get?
I get JJ McCarthy. He's
Oh
won a
wow.
national championship. He's won a national championship. He played in a pro style offense. He went under center sometimes. He know how to hand the ball off and let the running back do his thing. He's not an egotistical person from what I've seen. He's a very good prospect. Very, very good prospect.
Okay. So now let me tell you what I think about this. My bad, Prince Williams. You asked a while ago, about an hour ago. So we just jumping on it. We just getting to it. Let me tell you what I think. Um, I watched his pro day, and this goes to what Big Son said. We were watching it together, and so I'm gonna be honest. He was throwing 10 and outs. Now go specifically and watch him throw those. And maybe they weren't 10, they might have been 12 and outs, 13 and outs. But watch those outs, specifically those out patterns, and watch how many times he overthrew that ball, sailed out of bounds. Watch how many times that ball sailed out of bounds. On his 9 routes, which was the deep routes. Watch how many times he overthrew his receivers on those 9 routes going deep. Watch how much of only thing he hit fluently from based on his pro day now. The only thing he hit fluently was the post patterns and the ends. Anything in right in front of his face, he could hit that like it was nothing. But when it came to those outs, he really struggled with those. And this is no defense. This is the pro day. So you don't have any defense. You don't have any defenders. You don't have any cornerbacks. You don't have nothing. A lot of those footballs were high, very high, and they sailed out of bounds. Or they sailed out of bounds. The majority of them. That's why I'm not comfortable with him. I think he struggles with accuracy. I think he struggles with arm strength. That's for me, my analysis of JJ McCarthy. I wouldn't pick him nowhere in this draft based on what I saw from his pro day. I wouldn't pick him in the 4th round because he might have to play. So I
Hey,
wouldn't pick
bro,
him at all.
how are you saying this about the guy that led his team to a national championship that you wouldn't pick him
Because his
at
running back
all?
had 27 touchdowns. That's why.
Yeah.
Um,
you know,
I'll tell you a quarterback who won a national championship and didn't translate well. Vince Young.
Who?
yeah, Vince
Vince
Young.
Young.
Yeah, yeah.
Vince Young
Vince
was
Young.
good for a couple
And he,
years.
and he had a better squad than JJ and them. Them
Vince Young,
Texas
Vince
Longhorns
Young, Vince Young, in my opinion, was an okay quarterback. If you would have gave him time, you would have developed him. He
trash.
would have been a better quarterback.
Trash.
Look at the team. Listen, bro. Look at the teams these players go to. When was the last time When was the last time after Vince Young that they've had a good quarterback? A good
We
quarterback.
talking about while Vince was there though. We talking about
What I'm
him
saying,
being a championship winning quarterback.
what I'm
And
saying is
we're
that
And,
comparing the
and
pedigree, just the
the team you
championship
the team you go
quarterback.
to also
We just
matters, bro.
I'm just saying, huh?
The team you go to also matters. It also matters, bro. Like
See,
clearly.
we like to make excuses for people like him,
There's no
but I would like
excuses,
to.
bro. It's
I'm gonna
not
look
an
at the team.
excuse.
I'm gonna look at the team that he had because if you had a nice team around you or an alright decent team around you, you're the problem.
I think he went to didn't he go to the AFC
He was
championship
the
with the Titans, right?
I don't think so. I'm gonna look that up. But let me tell you, let me say this too, though, to the fans out there listening to Mr. Williams. Even if you watch this later, Mr. Prince Williams, watch it later because we did answer your question. Now I'm gonna say this: Jayden Daniels struggled as well with accuracy and on those same passes. He struggled as well, but the difference is Jayden Daniels can do more with his legs. And so I feel like if he is struggling with some of his accuracy, I feel like the defense still got something else to account for because of his legs. And so I feel like he would be able to navigate that a little bit better than McCarthy.
Mm.
So that's why I
Who
would
you
pick
talking about?
Daniels between Daniels and
I mean,
McCarthy.
Daniels is clearly a better, clearly, in my opinion, a better prospect than McCarthy. And I'm not saying
Hold up.
I think personally think McCarthy is an okay prospect. I know y'all don't like him, but I think he's okay. And I think that if he goes to the right situation, even if Drake May goes to the right situation, if Drake May got to start day one, he won't be in the league long. If Drake May get to sit behind a quarterback, a decent quarterback, and see them play and see them run offense and become a pro, I think he might be pretty good because he got the big size. He's 6'4", got a decent arm. It's not weak. You know what I mean? So like I think him and Sam Howell is very alike in that sense, and I think that Sam Howell is would be a decent quarterback given the time. You got to develop these players. I think NFL ready to play right now.
Whoa.
I think that
I'm
there's
watching.
other prospects more ready than them. I think Michael Penix Jr. is more ready. I think Bo Nix is more ready, and I think Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams is more ready than both of those guys. I'm watching Drake Mays pro day right now.
I'm watching it right now too. That's what I was gonna go into. And I saw an overthrow. It was an overthrow over there. That same pass, those outs on these
You
pro
know,
days. I want
and
y'all
and and and
and
from
for
what I can
anybody
see from Drake
listening,
May, he's not doing horrible.
but he's not rushing these
Can you hear
passes
me?
either. And I want to see him move faster. Yes, we can hear you.
Can
I
you
want
hear
to see
me?
Drake. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um,
My jump
I
froze a
want to
little bit.
see. I want to see Drake May move a little bit faster. He's moving a little too slow for my liking. I want to see him move a little bit faster. It's like
Yeah,
he's really just moving too slow for my liking. You know, his accuracy is much better than Jayden Daniels, though. But Jayden Daniels was moving faster, and Jayden Daniels, to me, was throwing a little bit more challenging throws. That's just this far though. It's early in the pro day. It's early in the workout. So but I think Jayden Daniels, was throwing more, more challenging throws now. And again, he's moving slower than Jayden Daniels as well.
but that
Oh,
that may
Jaden
be
Daniels.
that may be by
Oh,
design. I think that may be by design. Him taking his time, him knowing his pro day, him not being like he's still doing his drop backs. He's still throwing around. He's still doing what you should do as a quarterback. Honestly, from what I heard about Drake May's pro day, that it wasn't good. But I'm looking at it. I'm saying it's not that bad.
It's
You know.
better than Jayden Daniels so far, in my opinion.
but
Um.
the moving fast and all of that is to move like you're in a game, even though you're
Yeah,
not in the game, it's to move at game pace speed
yeah,
and be accurate.
yeah,
So
yep.
to me, you fail, you get some points taken off when you're just moving about like this is no, this ain't leisurely Holmes because we're
Oh,
going to
out of bounds, way out of bounds. Whoa, that was a horrible pass on those outs. On those outs. And so anybody watching, what you want to see is another one out of bounds nearly. That's another one. But you want them outs. The ends, the crosses, the posts. Anybody can throw those. Kids can
Oh
throw
yeah, yeah.
those.
That's a bad throw right there.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
tell you one.
yeah, yeah. So those outs is really what
Okay,
you want
that's
to look
okay.
at, and the
That's not
deep
exactly a
passes.
great
Those are
throw.
two things you want to hone in on. Is the deep passes
That's
down
a
the
good
field
throw.
to see if they overthrows, or you want to see those outs. Those are the most challenging throws on the field. Is the deep passes and the outs. And don't get it twisted. He has two incompletions so far. I'm thinking about I think he's about 15, 20 throws right now. He has two incompletions, both of them on the same route, the outs. Jayden Daniels really struggled on the outs yesterday, but he's moving slower than Jayden Daniels, to be honest.
and still struggling.
Yeah, he's
That's a
moving.
problem.
He's moving a lot slower than Jayden Daniels, and his outs are really are not as long as Jayden Daniels. I mean, his receivers are going about 10 and out. Jayden Daniels was at like 15 and out. He just threw the ball deep. His deep passes are a lot better than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had about 5 or 6 overthrows. We haven't seen those 5 or 6 overthrows. That was another out
Nah.
of bounds. Another one went out on Drake May. That's another one where he kind of missed on that. That was an
I feel
out
like Jaden Daniels had a lot better zip on the ball.
because he's moving slower. Like everything is like practice. Everything is like it's not really. Even though they called it a pro day, I guess you could say it's a pro
It
day,
is a pro
but
day. It's definitely a pro day.
it's not. He's moving really slow in the game. If that's this pace he's gonna move at, he's gonna get sacked every time.
Mm.
He's gonna get sacked, and he's throwing to like as if the running back is coming out the field. I want to see. I mean, he's a much more accurate in my
His
opinion.
mechanics is good.
He's much more accurate than Jaden Daniels, based on
His,
what I'm seeing. He's
his
much
drop
more
back.
accurate.
I
Yes,
think his drop back is not exactly great.
and he's
You know
definitely
what
more
I mean?
accurate than JJ McCarthy for sure. He's more
Yeah,
accurate than JJ McCarthy.
his I would say that his drop back isn't great though. Like it's some spots in there, like a couple lazy drop backs,
Right, that's what I'm
and
saying.
yeah, it's a couple spots in there where I'm not exactly loving it. It's some good drop backs in there too, but um, like he was saying on the out routes, it's two that he missed real big, and that's not what you want. If you missing, you got to miss close, and missing that big,
And
And
maybe
he's waiting. Another thing I don't like is he's waiting way too late on the deep passes. He's
nah,
waiting way too late to let to release that ball
no, they're doing that on
because he's
purpose.
overthrowing, so he don't
No,
overthrow the receivers. And that's not what
n-
Jaden Daniels did. Jaden Daniels
no,
released it.
no, he's trying to show that he can get the ball out. Basically, this is the one thing that Joe Milton Jack killed them on in the combine. See, everybody else was
His
doing what Jaden Daniels was doing, taking the quick drop back, throwing the joint out there. Joe Milton was like, man,
okay.
let me give
And
you some
honestly,
time.
the one that he did throw a little slowly on time, I saw the receiver had to slow down. It would have been picked off. Put it like that. The safety would have got over there by that time.
You talking about Joe Milton?
No, Drake May.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying Joe Milton. That's what he was doing, and so
His,
I've seen a couple pro days where they starting to implement that now. Because I watched a couple pro days now, and so they're implementing that to show arm strength. See,
nah, but no, I think it's so that he doesn't overthrow his receivers. Personally,
yeah,
I
no,
don't
no,
think it's
no. I
fair.
think he has. I just think he's doing it at a slower pace. I think everything for him isn't as fast as game speed, which I don't necessarily like, But I see what he's doing. He's being patient. He's taking his time. He like this drop back he just threw was
He
really good.
The guy
Like
was
certain
already
drop backs was really
45
good.
yards down the field, 45, 50 yards down the field before he released the ball. Nah, that's not gonna work. That's gonna be an interception in the NFL.
But did he get it out there? That's showing your arm strength.
It's gonna be them safeties are too good. They're too
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, for an actual game. But if you trying to show
Right.
what you can do, is what I'm saying. If you trying to show that I could throw this ball 60 yards down there,
But I think they trying to hide them when they do that though. That's my opinion. I think they're hiding. They're not giving it. I think they looked at all the other pro days and say, "Oh, these guys overthrowing guys." Like what I'm saying now, which is what Jaden Daniels did. Is what
see, look, he just threw a what was that, a 60?
no, that's not what I'm not disputing that.
60,
See, look, now he's near the end zone. That was a high
70.
pass, for instance. High
He,
pass. You can't do
he
that
threw
when
a
you get closer to the end zone. Now they doing the red zone workouts. And he's
60.
not as accurate. You see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
You got to release the ball a little quicker when you near the red zone. You don't have as much space to
now,
work with.
now Jaden Daniels
60.
does have touch near the red zone. I seen that.
Yeah. Like JJ, I'm looking at JJ and JJ dropping 60 on him like it ain't nothing. 55s. You
I'm
know
not
what I'm
disputing
saying?
that. But no, you talking about JJ McCarthy?
No, I'm talking about Drake May right now.
It was, and if you see the red zone part, you won't get to the red zone.
I'm out at the red zone right now, but I'm saying like
A
as
lot of
far as
those passes were high at
yeah,
the red
as far
zone.
as but what I'm saying is as far as arm strength to show off his arm strength. See, I don't think that it was more necessarily the throw that you wanted to look at that space. I think it's like how far can he get it downfield? You know what I mean? If you let's say if you have a Marvin Harrison Jr. or you have a Justin Jefferson or you have a Jamar Chase and you got to get that ball 60 yards down the field, can you do it? Can you do it? No defense. You don't got too much in front of you. Can you do it? Can you consistently do it?
Right,
And
right,
and so that's what I'm saying with him actually getting it down there. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that he was really good at that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all those throws was perfect because they wasn't. I think that some of those throws may have been, like you said, he waited a little bit of time. It was a little bit too much. Um, he waited a little bit too long.
right, right. I think
But
that was a little, for them looking at the other pro days. That's my opinion, though.
yeah,
That's my opinion. They say, okay, well, what we're
see,
not going to do is overthrow him. You
what
wait,
I don't
you wait
like,
till this guy get 40 yards down the field
look,
before you release it.
what I don't like is right now they're showing a couple throws and they did not show the throw.
They ain't
They,
show the throw either. Did you
yeah,
see that?
yeah,
Did you see
twice.
that?
And he missed both of
And he
those.
missed because you could tell by his body language.
Yeah, he missed both of those.
And where was they at? Near the red zone, right?
Yeah, this is a red zone jump.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Where he could not release the
Yeah,
ball.
no, that's high. That is
You
high.
see,
That is
you
no
see what I'm
good.
saying? So
That
the
is no
accuracy
good.
changes a little bit when he has to release the ball on time. That is
Well,
it. Is my question. Like for instance, and for anybody looking at, I always use Bo Nix. To me, Bo Nix had the best pro day. When you go look at him, he's releasing that ball on time and hitting people on the money. Wop, wop, wop on time. He not waiting. And again, it could be that North Carolina don't have the receivers that LSU have. Because if you release the ball when with Neighbors 30 or 40 yards down the field, guess what? Neighbors going to have to slow down to get that. And it's going to be
yeah,
noticeable. So you have to, when you have Neighbors and when you have, what's the other guy name?
Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas. When you got Neighbors and Thomas, you got to release that ball on time.
But see, that's what I was saying about Jaden Daniels having an amazing pro day because that's their pro day too. That's who's catching his passes. Those motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's different, and this is why I'm saying with Jaden Daniels, this gives me a good thing and gives me a bad thing. You play with two top receivers, meaning you can throw, and I mean, meaning you can throw to real guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can definitely throw to real guys, but what I'm saying is that does that also scares me because if you don't have the best receivers in football, right? Let's say you got good receivers, but not the best. How good do you really look without them?
That's the question. That's the question. I agree with that. Now, don't get it twisted. I do think that Drake May was more accurate in his pro day than um than 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 Daniels. However, I don't know how accurate he is or is not because I felt like the coaches did things to help him out.
Yeah, potentially.
I felt like they did a lot of things to help him out. He needs to release the ball on time. He was moving very slow. That's
Yeah,
one thing that I don't know if they told him that. Hey, don't rush the throw. Make sure you get your feet under you. This that, but
probably.
they might have told him that. But at the end of the day, in the NFL, you're not gonna get a chance to do that when you're playing. The defense is not going to say, okay, don't sack him because he needs to get his feet together and he needs to take his time and throw the pass.
Now I will say this: JJ McCarthy is probably used to having Harbaugh there with him at this point, and it's no, and it's not saying that he needs Harbaugh. But you know what I mean? If that's your coach and that's been your coach this whole time, you probably for a comfort level thing, you probably would love to have Jim Harbaugh right there next to you, helping you. And I'm pretty sure that he wasn't there or that he couldn't be there under NFL rule. And if he was there, he couldn't be on the field with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Right.
that'd be kind of tampering. So I think that with JJ McCarthy, I'm not giving him a pass at all. I'm going to say that that was his disadvantage though compared to maybe some of the other guys.
Right. Right.
No passes though. I mean, you got what you got. You know what I mean?
Right. And there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm with the Drake May, Washington. Again, I don't know how good your scouts are. I don't know how experienced they are. If anybody, and I'm just saying for Washington because they got the number 2 overall pick, and
Yeah.
they probably were there at the pro day themselves.
They were. They were. They've been
Yeah.
at everybody. They've been at everybody pro. They all the top quarterbacks.
Okay, so they were probably there. Be careful with that.
Adam
Be-
Peters has been at all of them
Okay,
himself.
okay, okay. Well, y'all need to be careful with that because I saw a
And,
couple things that
and they're
were
taking
alarming.
meetings. And they're taking meetings with the quarterbacks too.
Okay, okay. I saw a couple things that were alarming, And this is not to knock Drake May again. I don't think they should draft him because he's his accuracy problems. But hey, I'm not going to knock him either. He had a good pro day. To me, he was more accurate than Jaden Daniels in his pro day for sure. And I'm not, this is me not exaggerating. So it's not like I'm dogging him in any way. I'm just saying from my own analysis. I mean, this is the nature show. I have loyalty to the nature fans. This is the nature show. So I'm supposed to tell y'all what I see honestly. That's what journalism is. I have to report it honestly as to honestly what did I see. And if I was there, I'd have been like, hold on, why are they waiting until he get down to till he get 40 yards down the field before he release the ball? I want to see you soon as this receiver is beat from 0 to 10, you got to release that ball because these safeties going to be over there. You got to look off the safety and then release it on the other side as if you're in a game. What are we going to get in a game? I don't want to see, oh, yeah, this is practice 7-on-7 drills. No, what are we going to get in the game? Let me see you look a man on, throw it on this other side. Let me see this out. And he struggled on the outs. As you saw, Leo, he struggled on those outs. A lot of outs, they ran shorter outs. I believe they looked at the other pro days and made adjustments. That's why they waited till last. If y'all noticed that too, did you notice that? Did you notice
Yeah.
that? They waited till last to do their pro day.
I mean, I'm looking at JJ McCarthy, Joe, man. I like his drop back. I like the spiral on his ball. I like I like the zip. He got some zip on his ball. I think the cameraman sucked because I'm trying to maybe I need to watch
You
another
know,
film.
no, that's what they did. They didn't show the same thing they did with Drake May. They
Yeah,
didn't show a lot of that stuff.
yeah. So I'm a couple of these throws. I'm not judging them
Don't
on
go, but this is what I'm
because
saying. Don't go to the team thing. JJ McCarthy did a workout at the NFL Combine. Look at the one at the NFL Combine. Because you
well,
can see.
I'm looking at
You
his
see,
pro
look at the
day.
pro day for Michigan. No, because they don't show
Yeah,
hardly nothing. Whatever he missed, they didn't show it. Go to and that's why a lot of them did not want to work out at the NFL Combine either, because the Combine is not going to hide anything. This
yeah,
is
nah,
why a
but
lot of
I think the pro day look good though. It's not bad, like from
go
what I
look at
can
the one
see.
at the NFL Combine. That's all I'm gonna say, because he did a workout at the NFL Combine. They show everything. Michigan didn't show. I didn't even watch that footage. I said, let me turn this off because they're not showing everything. And I went to the NFL Combine and watched the one at the Combine, the JJ McCarthy workout. And it's for all the fans listening. If y'all want an accurate assessment of JJ McCarthy, do not watch that Michigan Pro Day, because that Michigan Pro Day is going to block out a lot. Go
I
watch the
mean,
NFL Combine
but
workout.
I mean, I'm not going to discredit his pro day because he actually did it. This is a young man trying to get in the
But you
league.
can't even see anything.
You can see a lot.
You
You
can
can see
see
a lot.
they one out of every 3 throws they blocked it. You could see him. You just couldn't see where the ball went.
Well, some of the Jones, even I'm looking at, some of the. Don't get me wrong. I'm not seeing some of the end of the throws, but
That's
some
what I'm
of them
saying.
you can tell by reaction that they are good throws by the people around them clapping by the, you know what I mean? And so, they and you can see some of them where he put his head down like, damn, I missed it. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is in those spaces, I'm looking at his mechanics. I'm looking at his drop back, looking at his wind up, looking at how long it takes him to release the ball. You know what I mean? So like those, you could still get good reps of film off of these.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to see the nitty gritty. I want to see everything. I want to see
Yeah,
where
I
the
want to see
ball went,
everything too.
location of the ball when it arrives,
I want to see
location.
that too. But see, from what I can see here, like no offense to no offense to JJ, but what I can see here, Drake May got a way bigger arm. He
That's what I'm saying.
got at least another 10, 15
Yeah,
yards on his arm
yeah.
from what I can see.
But
And
that's why I was surprised when you say you would take JJ McCarthy. If you were the Patriots, you would take JJ McCarthy over Drake May. I was
well,
surprised at that.
what I'm saying is that from what it just looking at pedigree, looking at what's what, you know what I mean? I don't think they're in love with either one of them. I think that the pro day, his pro day actually looked his actual pro day actually looked okay. It didn't look bad. I'm gonna be real. What was his combine as good as his pro day? Probably not. And so looking at and I'm just going off of their pro days because I'm looking at the quarterbacks. I seen some clips from some of. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
I love the analysis though.
But I think JJ McCarthy draft stock may have dropped a little bit after after watching everybody else's pro day. The reason being is because when I mean you could say that he looked pretty impressive, or you could say that some of those throws wasn't exactly perfect.
Right,
And you could
right,
show that and when you look at Drake May, you say, hey, like I said, I'm sitting there watching him drop 60. So it's like when I'm watching JJ McCarthy throw for 50, it's like not the same thing, you
right,
know?
right, right,
Mm.
right. And again, that's my question in this. Me personally, my question in that would be, hey, um, what do you do with the number 2 pick if you're Washington? Again, that's the question. And we just saw Drake Mays. Now we got both of them. I feel like, and that's what again, maybe I'm wrong for feeling like this, but I feel like May cheated a little bit. May and North Carolina cheated a little bit. That's what I feel like after seeing his pro day. Not that he had a bad pro day. He had a very good pro day. His accuracy was much better than Jaden Daniels. Truthfully speaking, his accuracy was much better than Jaden Daniels. But I think
Mhm.
they cheated to get it. I think they cheated to get it. I'm gonna keep it real. I
Mm.
think they cheated. I think they cheated. They waited to see what everybody else did. And maybe that's not cheating. Maybe that's strategizing. Some people would say, hey man, they strategize. They ain't cheat, they
That's how
strategize.
that's how I look at it. I don't know. I mean, I know everybody don't think unconventionally like I think, but and see, everybody is not a person that like a Bill Belichick that knows the rules and he gonna push the rules to the limit so he can make sure he get the result he need. But I'm one of those guys that like that. It's not cheating if it's within the rules. Now, if you're
Washington
doing
has
something,
signed the Philadelphia wide receiver
oh yeah, I seen that earlier.
Zacchaeus. Washington signs Zacchaeus today. Just to throw
I
that
don't
out
like it.
there.
I don't
I
like it.
don't even. Mm.
You got too
I
much
mean, I
good
like it.
money in the draft for you to be signing some daggone Eagles wide receiver that don't nobody even know.
I like.
Like,
Yeah.
You want to know why I like it? Because I think that we need as much, and I mean really as much help in that wide receiver room as possible. And if this is somebody that's going to push these guys that's at the top to say, "Hey, we ain't comfortable," I'm okay with it.
I think different.
Zacchaeus,
If
his
he's not better,
We ain't
just
give him no real money.
just to read off his stats, he's never had a receiving. Last year he had 10 receptions, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The season before that with the Falcons, that's why we might have him because he was with the Falcons. It looks like he was with the Falcons with Dan Quinn. He
Yeah,
had three receptions with the Falcons, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. The next season in 2020, he had 20 receptions, 274 yards, and 1 touchdown. The season after that with the Falcons, 2021, he had 31 receptions, 406 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The season after that, in 2022, he had 40 receptions, which was his best season. His best season is 40 receptions, 533 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's his best season. And last year
I
with the
think.
Eagles, he had 10 receptions, 164, and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I think that's good because the boy scored a lot of touchdowns every single time. He
3
only had
touchdowns is not, I wouldn't say is a lot.
for what he's getting though, for what he's receiving. It's
4
not like
receptions, 3
he's not a
touchdowns.
he's not a top guy. He's a fourth receiver. So for him to be a fourth receiver getting 3-4 touchdowns a year consistently with not even getting a lot of targets, I think that's okay.
Let's say they're not bringing him in to be a 4th receiver. Let's say they are bringing him in to be your slot guy, your main slot guy.
He got to beat De'Ami Brown out for that,
Let's
probably.
just say.
no. You need to beat Tinsley out. Bump that. You need to beat Tinsley out.
Is Tinsley still on the roster?
Yes, he is.
He is. He's still on the
You
roster.
need to beat Tinsley out because
And
Pringle's
hold
gone.
up. And this is my problem with it.
Nah,
I'm gonna tell you
Crowder.
this is my problem with it.
Actually going to beat Crowder out.
Yeah, Crowder. This is my problem with it. He's 5'8", 193 pounds.
That's
I
Crowder.
I just don't think, yeah, and I don't think he's better than Crowder. His Crowder numbers crush that.
Right. They
Bro,
sound Crowder, and
bro,
honestly, what's
Brian
the name?
Brian
No,
Pringle.
hey, what Adam Peters was like, man, we are happy to bring Crowder back. We are basically, yeah, they big
They
on
looked at
Crowder.
the tape. They looked at the tape.
Yeah, they big on Crowder. So
They
he's
looked
not
at the
just gonna
tape.
come in and beat Crowder out. He's gonna have to earn his spot. So which is why I don't mind.
Bro, Byron Pringle had 14 receptions last year, 161 yards. That's basically this dude here.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You
I
know what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. But let's make them earn their spots, man. Terry
Why?
is
Why?
Terry's on. Listen, Terry's on the team. Jahan's on the team. Crowder's on the team.
But that scares me. That means y'all not trying to fix the wide receiver position.
Not really, because Jahan. This is the thing. I don't know how big they are on Jahan because they ain't really said too much about him. They done said some shit about Terry. They done said something about Crowder. They really ain't said too much about Jahan. So I really don't know. Now, if they are looking at it like this is a wide receiver heavy draft and we can add some value in the draft from the wide receiver position, then yeah, I can see that. But I don't know if they're thinking. I don't even know if they're looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they should. I haven't seen any news clips about Marvin Harrison Jr. in Washington at all.
Mm.
So I don't know if they go Marvin Harrison Jr. and I don't think they're going Malik Neighbors because I same thing with Malik Neighbors. Haven't heard anything at all.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Would you take Zacchaeus, quote unquote, over um basically Jahan Dotson in the slot if you was to get Brian Thomas?
No,
No,
but
no.
he would have to beat Crowder. He's not even looking at Jahan's spot. He's looking at Crowder's spot. Is what I'm saying.
I don't like the pickup. I just think it's what are you trying to do with that? That's my question. What is that for?
We
What are
need
you
to fill out roster, especially for practice squad players and all that. That's a good
he's not going to
pickup,
be a practice squad. He's a 5-year veteran. He's not about to be no practice squad player.
bruh. Bruh, he might not even make the team. They probably
I
cut
agree with
him.
that.
So that's what I'm
But
saying. Like right now, while we're building our team, I think that's a good pickup.
so what they're doing favors? Let me bring him in because it's a
I
favor. I
don't.
know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
gonna say. I
no,
don't think it's a
no.
good idea because if we trying to bring in some different type of caliber and championship caliber, he doesn't scream that. You know, Dieter or that guy, the lineman, he screams that. The other
Right.
lineman we picked up, they scream that we trying to change around. He doesn't scream that to me. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what are y'all doing? Are we really changing the culture? Or y'all just trying to, save face around here? Because don't be making these little dumb moves, these inconsistent moves with everything that you just done. I mean, you took 10 steps forward. Why are you going to take even one step backwards?
I don't think that's a step backwards.
I do. I do, because you let go Pringle, so why would you bring him in here? You let Pringle go. That's essentially the same thing you got.
He gotta go, but he gotta be productive in the way that they feel like they productive. Like my thing is like right now on the roster, right? Right now we got De'Ami Brown, we got Kazmir Allen, we got
Yeah,
Jamison
exactly.
Crowder,
Yep.
we got Davion Davis. We don't know who the hell Davion Davis is, right? We got Jahan Dotson, we got Terry McLaurin, we still got Dax Milne, we got Mitchell Tinsley and Bryson Tremaine.
I like
Okay,
Tremaine. I
okay.
like Tremaine.
And so we add that other person. Tremaine, no offense, he might make it. He's 6'4", one of our biggest what's the names. But other than him, and everybody else in that small size, let's say Davion Davis,
Bye.
Kazmir Island as well. Both of
No,
those
no,
Why
guys.
are these guys still on the roster?
no. Kashmir Island is a punt returner.
Right.
He's a punt returner from UCLA, who I thought they should have gave more time and gave more chances. To my, oh nah, he ain't doing it. Well,
But what I'm saying is that even when you look at that, when you say, okay, they have plenty of wide receivers on this roster that more than likely isn't making the team. You only really keeping 6 on the roster. So when you count 6 on the roster, right? You say Terry McLaurin is number 1. Then you say Jahan Dotson is number 2. And then you say Jamison Crowder is number 3. And then you're going to go maybe De'Ami Brown is number 4. And so all of
That's
these
why I
other
said the
people,
Yami got to go.
huh?
If y'all know me, I've been saying the Yami got to go, and that's one of the reasons why.
But see, this is the
So
thing. Okay, listen though, but Diami's only number 4, and you're only keeping 6. So you're more than likely keeping them of a 3, right?
Right.
You're keeping them of a 3. So what I'm
what?
saying
Though?
is
Why
that,
are you
That's
keeping
what I'm
who?
saying.
Why are you
I want to
keeping
see them
who?
get Brian Thomas
Why you
but
personally.
doing
So
that? You don't know, and you get to just brought this dude in. It's like, for what? Why did you do that?
because you need to have 90 something players for I mean I think it's 90 players for spring.
Well, give me somebody that's gonna make it competition. Like, you
Well,
know,
you
uh,
don't
Jameson Crowder made it competition when he came in the wide receiver room because all right, we got to put up with Jamin. He used to be here and he got pretty solid numbers. Who is this nigga for me to say,
bro,
oh, let me
you know I
let
get
me
it, but listen, if they've worked with him before, like I respect what Dan Quinn did say. He said, no, relationships ain't gonna get you here. But if we've worked with you before, that means we already know what you can do. We already know what type of guy you are, what type of person you practice like, what type of person you play like, what you're gonna bring to the locker room. So if they already know this, like that's why I'm okay with them getting some familiars. You know what I mean? Get a couple familiars, a couple people that you know, because you can then trust that this is what they're going to bring to the table. So right now, in my opinion, like Frankie, I think Peter said Frankie Louvu might have been one of the only people that they in house really nobody in house really worked with. They just loved his tape, and they was like they looked at his tape from basically he played against it was the Panthers versus the 49ers, and that's how Adam Peters got kind of hip to Frankie Louvu. But everybody else, not everybody else, like they got a staff that's been around the league.
but this my problem with that
It's not like
is
they, but this is what I'm saying. They've been in different teams, a lot of them. Think about it. Dan Quinn been to 3 teams. Adam Peters been with the 3 teams now. The passing game coordinator been
do
to
you
like 3, 4 teams.
but let
So
me say for my analogy. Go ahead. Sorry, I ain't gonna cut you off. Go ahead.
yeah, so when you think about how many teams they've been on in the league, they've been on 9, 10, 12 teams as a staff. So one might be from Atlanta, one might be from Dallas, one might be from Seattle, one might be from San Francisco, one might be from New England, but that's all over the league. You get what I mean? It's not like they picking somebody, they picking people I think they feel comfortable with. And I think that's very smart.
Well, I'm a beg to differ on that one. I don't like it because I feel like y'all doing people favors. People giving you calls. You're getting a call saying, hey, man, I need a job. You know what I'm saying? Bring me in because I know you. Not because you're good, not because you have good tape, not because you have good numbers, not because of any other reason other than I know somebody who knows somebody. I don't like that. Like, for instance, like you said, with Frank Louvu, it's I saw this man play. He a beast, bruh. Bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Historically, the best pick outside of London Fletcher. He had worked with Greg Williams before in Buffalo. He was Greg Williams' middle linebacker. But you can still
Exactly.
look at and see, but you can still, there's a different specimen though. His numbers spoke for himself. He didn't have bad numbers. Anybody who has bad numbers coming over here with a coach that they know, I'm going to be suspect on.
yeah.
Period. I'm going to be suspect on. This dude's a kid. He knows Dan Quinn. He know the coach. He was with him with Atlanta. He needed a daggone job. He needed a check.
Well, even
He didn't earn the check. He knew somebody who knew somebody. That's how he got the check.
well, that's how NFL was built through relationships, bro.
I don't like that. I don't think so. I
It's a
don't think I do not think. For instance, Daryl Green. Daryl Green went to a HBCU. Basically, went to a
okay,
HBCU. Shannon Sharp went to a HBCU. Was an 8th-round pick. I
okay.
want people who earn their way in, not people who know somebody
Hold up,
and talk
y'all.
their way in.
Speaking of earning your way in, I'm looking up the Washington roster right now. They have St. Jude starting at left
Right.
cornerback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
Davis Michael starting at right cornerback.
See,
Yeah,
We need
they're not even
quarterbacks.
starting
We need
Forbes.
corners. We need corners. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. We need corners. Looking at that right there, that scares me going into the season.
it don't scare me because I think
It
Forbes
does,
is gonna.
does me.
I think. Listen, it depends on how our coaches feel about the talent we have in that room. In that room, because they have made really good cornerbacks several times, and so because we got Forbes last year, it depends if they feel like his talent is where it should be. I feel like Forbes is just is every bit as talented as Deron Bland. Okay, so I think that he could maybe duplicate what Bland did last year. Not saying that he will, but if he got the talent, I'm not too much worried about the cornerback position as I am some of the other spots. Safety, I'm more worried about
Sure. I am. I don't
because
I don't want
I
Juice.
like
I
Forrest,
don't
but
want
Forrest
Juice
has not stayed on
outside.
the field.
Juice
You get
gonna
what
get
I'm
burnt up.
saying?
Juice gonna get burnt up on the
But
outside. I'm sorry.
but
He's gonna get burnt up.
you
Juice,
sure?
Juice, yes. Look at him last year. Look what happened to him. They put him
Yeah,
on.
yeah, but last year I just feel like that was a
But see,
trash coaching job.
my thing is, you didn't play that bad the year before St. Juice. Your mechanics
Exactly.
change.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. In a tank year, in a bad defensive
No,
year,
I
in a
don't
year where they
care what
fired the
year it
coach,
is. I don't care what year it is, bro. Tanking or not, your mechanics don't change, bro. That's like saying Derrick Henry. Oh, they was tanking, so he no Derrick Henry gonna do Derrick Henry.
I get what you're saying. I respect it a lot. But all I'm saying is that I don't think that I'm not saying I want to get a corner, so I'm not saying that we shouldn't get one. But like what I am saying is that it's not a big need. I think safety is the bigger need in that secondary. Because if Forrest go down or the new dude that we got from the Panthers go down, who do we have to back those guys up?
You talk about if Louisville goes down,
Reeves,
you got
No,
Mayo.
I'm talking about the
Reeves and
safety.
Butler.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
safety.
safeties.
Reeves and Butler.
Um, you got Butler. You do have Butler. I
And
like Butler
Reeves.
and Reeves. Yeah.
Bruh. Bruh, we don't have a strong safety backup right now, if that's the case. Because both of those are free safeties.
You should have got
No,
Cameron Curl. You should have
Chin,
signed Cameron Curl
So
then.
what
If
I'm
that's
so
the
what I'm
case.
saying is
Jeremy Chin is a strong safety.
yeah,
Butler
but
and
that's what
Reeves.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If one of those if Jeremy Chin gets hurt, we don't have nobody backing him up. Percy
That's
Butler's
what.
going to have to be the strong safety at that point, and I don't necessarily know if Percy Butler's the best strong safety.
No, Dark would be the strong safety over that.
Who?
Dark
Force,
Force.
and then you would move Butler to then you
Yeah,
would
you would
move
move
Butler
Butler at his
to
natural
free.
position free.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that we need to go back and get another strong safety and have five safeties.
But
Just my opinion.
that's what I was trying to tell y'all a week and a half ago about us needing an extra safety, and that's why I was looking at either Vaki, the dude Vaki, or
Yeah,
Williams because Williams is a dual threat. He can do safety and matter of fact, Vaki does too. Vaki and Williams are both dual threat safeties that play linebacker.
yeah. I'm looking at Bo Nick's joint. His joint do look decent.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah,
He got NFL size arms and all that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I think
yeah. My only thing with Drake May is I just think they cheated. Of course,
Knicks ain't moving as fast as Daniels either though.
right. Yeah, he is though. I disagree because his release is naturally fast.
Yeah, his release, but what I'm saying is like he taking his time. They doing like I think Jaden Daniels was like more keep going. I think Bo Nix is like, all right, cool, give me my time after this play. Boom. All right, we
Oh, you
going
talking
out
about
and
in
do this
between
play.
snaps?
Yeah,
I'm
in
talking about
between
on the
snaps.
dropbacks though. His dropbacks are quick. He getting
Yeah,
rid of that
but
ball quick.
yeah, but I think it's because he's taking his time to rest in between those throws, which is smart. I'm strategy, man. I'm not saying he cheating. To me, this is a great strategy. I
Right.
mean, Bo Nix, Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, 4,500 passing yards, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 77.4 completion
Whew,
percentage. You
whew.
know, and they got on Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects, they got Bo Nix is 29. So he definitely can be there in that second round.
Right. Right.
But with his pro day being good, with him having 70% passing, with him doing all of this, you never really know who's looking at this. Like I'm looking at it right now saying he throwing darts. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like darts,
Yeah.
30 yards down the field on the money, darts.
On the
You
money.
know?
All that was on the money.
Yeah.
He didn't miss a pass in his pro day.
Yeah, but see, and like I said, he's taking his time. I love what he's doing. He's taking his time. He's wiping his hands. He's making sure his stuff is dry. He's boom. He's dropping back. You know, and when I mean on the money, that's a 40. I just seen him drop a 30. Then I just seen him drop a 40 without no problem. Without no problem. I really like Bo Nix, and I think that this might be the guy that we might want to take.
And
and
that's
and I would say this:
unbiased.
he reminds me more of like a Brock Purdy, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I agree with
So
that.
and I think that that might be a bit of the formula that he's seeing in San Francisco to work. You know,
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
damn Joe Milton though. I'm looking at Joe Milton pro day. He just dropped a 70. That's crazy. Slim got crazy arm strength, bro. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking
and
at
he will take off on you in that pocket.
he
And
can
he remember
run.
say RG3 would take the punishment. Slim delivering it. He ain't taking no
He
punishment.
he's
Joe
six
ain't taking
five, 235, bro. Like
Joe delivering punishment out there. He ain't taking it.
Yeah. Yeah. What y'all feel about Joe Milton? Since you
I
brought him
like
up,
Joe Milton.
I
I
love
really
it.
like Joe
let's get
Milton.
into it.
I love
Let's get
Joe.
into it.
I like Joe Milton,
And
man.
the
I
only
think
reason
that
why I was watching Joe because I was watching what's that other boy Xavier Worthy
yeah,
and they was playing each other. This particular joint. I was watching the joint, watching the whole game, and
okay,
that boy jumped off the screen at me. The way
yeah,
man, like out of the pocket scramble, dude try to come up to him, he lowered his shoulder, lowered the boom, and brought it too. Like what? Yeah, I just did that, like a running back.
Yeah.
And like he ain't no little dude. You see Joe Milton physique, he ain't no little dude. He's a
Okay,
big
so
guy.
let's dive into the per game numbers. Against Alabama, Joe Milton. Alabama was 11th at the time. Joe Milton was 28 for 41, 271, 68 completion percentage, two touchdowns, no interceptions. Those are good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
15 carries, 59 yards. They did lose the game though. They only put up 20 points, 34-20. They did lose the game, however. He played Georgia. Georgia 17 for 30, 147. Horrible game. 56.7 completion rate, 4 carries, 13 yards. That was one of his worst games of the season. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He had actually his worst game of the season was in a win. 21. Well, that might not be his worst, but he had 2 interceptions in this game. That's the most interceptions he's had in one game, which was against South Carolina. He was 21 for 32, 239, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in that game, 2 carries for 4 yards in that game also. That was probably, that's the only double-digit interception game he's had. Against number 14, Missouri was a bad, well, they got blown out. It really wasn't a bad game for him, though. 22 of 34, 267, 64, a 64%, 64.7 on the completion percentage. And he was 1 touchdown, 1 interception in that game, 10 rushes for 36 yards. They lost 36-7. So it seems like he's putting up these good numbers. However, they're not scoring any points, which leads me to believe he struggles a bit in the red zone.
yeah. I mean, he's a project like Joe Milton. Only because I'm saying this because it's just his scouting report from what I've seen on him. He struggles a bit time to time with accuracy. Um, and so I really, 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 really think that potentially we could be one of those um we could be one of those teams that take our time with a guy like him. So,
Well,
like I said, if you're gonna start Mariota and let Mariota play a year and let Milton come in, and if we get whatever we get out of Mariota, we get out of Mariota. Milton's the guy next year potentially. That's the thing. Like
I
and that's
wouldn't
if we
mind
can
starting him this
develop
year if you're
develop.
going to formulate an offense around him, though.
Well, it wasn't that bad. That was a
Well,
good pass right there. The guy did
You
a hit
know,
the post, and he hit him right on the numbers.
yeah.
Watching Joe Milton pro day right now.
I mean, like for
He's a
instance, and
little
I'm gonna say what's alarming. See, like for instance, he was 20 for 34 against Florida. You know, on September 16th, 20 for 34, 287, two touchdowns, one interception. And they only had 16 points.
they
You
got a
get what I'm
nice
saying now? So it seems like he struggles in the red zone. He only had 20 touchdowns this year, 5 interceptions. He's not throwing a lot of picks. Got to
bro.
give him that, but he
yeah,
seems to struggle in the
Hold
red
up,
zone.
dog. Hey, dog. That nigga Joe Milton nasty.
yeah, man.
He's nasty. He just dropped a 70-yard bomb in the hole. Dude never dropped off running. Stride kept going like he might be
Yeah,
the deep ball king in the
yeah.
draft right now. I'm sorry. That was just like prolific right there.
Right.
And I
What if
mean, he,
Kansas City drafts him?
huh?
Could Kansas City draft him? Do y'all think that's on the board?
Maybe.
Andy Reid might see the raw talent.
Didn't they draft a quarterback last year?
Let's see. Let's see. I
Oh
think if
my
you
goodness.
formulate an offense around Milton,
Goodness,
I think if you do get him,
bro.
you have to build an offense around what he does well, which is obviously the deep ball. You can really stretch the field with that, though. But what are you going to do in the red zone to combat maybe him not being as good in the red zone as possible? Now, for me, I would use the running game in those situations
I'm about to say
and
use the
maybe
running
his
game
legs.
and let
Right.
him stretch the field early. Let him stretch the field, get you down there, and use the running game to score if he's not that good in the red zone. And you don't really have to be in the red zone for him to score. With that
Yeah, because
70-yard bomb,
he just
you can
dropped 70.
use
He
the
at the
guard down the field.
combine.
You beat that man.
At the combine, he just threw 70. He just threw 75.
Well, Kansas City don't have a solidified backup. They got Chris Aladikun, and they have Ian Brook. Ian Book. That's it. That's what they have at backup. And so
Hmm.
they don't
Seven.
have
He dropped 74. The longest throw of the day was Joe Milton 70, like 75. He missed the throw, but it was like a 75, 76 almost.
that's big boy. That's
That's
big boy.
crazy.
That's big boy stuff.
That's crazy. The only person I've seen do that, honestly, is Pat.
Yeah,
That's the only
yeah,
I see Pat throw a 80.
yeah,
I think it was Pat Pro Day where he threw 80.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Joe Milton again. If you're going to formulate your offense around that arm, I don't mind it.
Boy, that's a dangerous arm right there, son. Good gosh
Yeah.
almighty. And I mean, he doing it on post routes too. It ain't just a fly. He doing
Nah.
that job on post routes, outs,
This guy was
come
drafted
back.
in the seventh round for Kansas City. Odu Oladikin, he was drafted 22nd overall for the Kansas City
Last year, right?
Chiefs. 2022. His pick was 241 by Pittsburgh. Sorry, he came from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the one who drafted him. He was drafted in the 7th round. So they could potentially pick Melton because Melton could do much of what Mahomes do arm strength
Mhm.
wise. Maybe not as far as everything else, but arm strength wise, yeah, I think he can.
Yeah. I
And
mean, and honestly, I'm looking at his combine, man. His combine look really good. His combine actually look better than his pro day because I ain't see a lot on his pro day. They ain't have a lot of clips on his pro
Yeah,
day.
they had like 3 minutes on his pro day and not a lot on there.
Yeah, yeah. But his combine, I'm watching again because I watched it when he first came out, and I mean, he got a cannon, man. It's gonna be. I mean, a lot of people gave me slack when I was on the Redskin page and said that we should draft Joe Milton, Marvin Harrison first and Joe Milton second because to me that's a deadly tandem right there.
And not
Like
only that, bro, like his what I want to say, for him to have arm strength like that and be accurate at the point,
he
a
not accurate. He not. He's not
I'm looking
accurate.
at bro. I just looked at the man. For you to throw a 70-yard bomb like that, that's accuracy, bro. You
That's
got to
strength, bruh.
do that. The guy's going on post routes on the outs, and he getting
Yeah,
it. The guy in the back of the end zone, the tight end that caught the pass on his pro day. That's placement, bro. That's accuracy.
yeah.
You cannot say he's not accurate if he's throwing 70-yard bombs downfield with no drop off, nobody ain't got to look back, nothing. Ball drop right in there. That's accurate.
I'm just saying, bro. Like my opinion, when I look at accuracy, man, I don't. I looked at a couple of his game tape. It didn't look super accurate to me. I'm gonna just keep it 100. Now he got some amazing throws, man. He got some arm talent, and like that's what I'm saying. Like he definitely got some arm talent. Christian McCaffrey, little brother, is coming out this year too. Luke McCaffrey.
Luke McCaffrey. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know,
I'm taking
I,
Shipley over him.
I didn't like
yeah,
Shipley's pro day. I really
Man,
didn't like Shipley's pro day.
I
I thought
like
he struggled. I thought he
though.
struggled.
I
He
like
did.
McCaffrey route running, man.
Yeah, I think Shipley struggled a little bit. I think Shipley struggled. I would think about McCaffrey, Luke McCaffrey. I would think they got the pedigree. They got the pedigree, man.
Hey, JJ McCarthy had the second hardest throw. The hardest throw was in the combine. The hardest throw in the combine was Joe Milton, which was 62 miles per hour. The second hardest throw in the
But
combine
you got to
was
remember,
JJ.
Caleb Williams didn't do the combine. Uh, um, um, Jaden
J
Daniels did not do
Listen,
the combine.
61 miles an hour from JJ McCarthy under Joe Milton's 62 miles, and we seen Joe Milton just throw 70. And I
But
told you JJ McCarthy, um, I didn't see that out of JJ, but like I don't know, man.
that's on an immediate throw, probably across the middle. Where was the throw? Where was the throw
Nah,
at? Where was
they,
the
they, they was
placement?
throwing it on a pad, so it's like you throw it as hard as you throw it on the
Oh,
pad,
right, on the pad.
and
Right.
we
That's what I'm
and we going
saying. That's what I'm
and we
saying.
going and we gonna clock it. We're gonna clock how fast you throwing it. So
That's what I'm saying.
60, but listen, 62 miles an hour is crazy already, but
But you don't
61,
have to aim it nowhere.
but still 62 miles an hour, bro. It's 62 miles an hour.
Anybody could throw hard, but can you throw
No,
accurate and hard at the same time?
no. All right, let me go back to see who else was on it. Bo Nix was at like 58.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we
But
talking
Bo
about
Nix is
good.
only gonna be on the money.
I get what you're saying about accuracy. I'm not saying this is not an accuracy thing. I'm just saying arm strength, straight up arm strength. Notre Dame's quarterback was 53. Bo Nix was 58. The Kentucky quarterback, Leary, was 60. JJ McCarthy was 61. And then Joe Milton was 62.
Right. So if Leary is 60, that should tell you something.
Yeah. But I mean, he was over Bo Nix. Bo Nix was only at a 58.
I still take that with a grain of salt.
I know because I think Bo Nix is a better player. But I'm just saying, man.
You know. And it's not to knock McCarthy. I'm traumatized by his pro day. I'm traumatized by his pro day. You know what I'm saying? I'm traumatized by his pro day. You know, we're gonna rock out for 10 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, what y'all got, man? What y'all got for this last 10 minutes, man? Overall, what does the quarterback room look like in this NFL draft? What do y'all got just in general with all the picks? We're gonna send it around the room and just give me an overall assessment of everything you see with these quarterbacks in this NFL draft.
Well, I don't see every draft, and I've been saying this is something I'm going to repeat all the way up until draft time. Every draft is different and it has its trends. Okay. So if this is a quarterback trend draft, quarterback and wide receiver, which I think it will be a very quarterback and wide receiver driven draft, as well as offensive tackle. Um, like right now, I see Caleb as the most complete prospect out of them all. I think he got the arm strength to throw just about everything Joe Milton throws, but he has more accuracy, and he sees the field a lot better. I feel like Jaden Daniels' preparation is very good. I heard some very good notes on Jaden Daniels' preparation. He puts on the VR headset of the stadium that he's going to, so he can know where the time clocks is, so he can know where everything is basically. So when he's on that field, he gets to look and he knows what he's seen this before. Okay. And I really like that about Jaden Daniels. I think Drake May, he impressing people today. And although he impressing people today, I don't know how much that rises his draft stock. And I do think that now New England may potentially be looking at him over JJ McCarthy. Depends on how they feel about him. And then going to the next person, I think is JJ McCarthy. I think he goes early into this draft as well. He's won a national championship. He's done his thing. I feel like he's a good player. I'm not dogging any of these quarterbacks here because I do think that they have talent. And I always say if you got the talent, that's great. But if you got to go to the right organization that's going to be able to put into you, is going to be able to invest into the quarterback position, invest to their development, give them time to develop. So that all depends on that. So anybody from 5 on down, same thing for Michael Penix Jr., same thing for Bo Nix, same thing for Joe Milton. You know, all of these quarterback, even Leary, we haven't been mentioning much of him. Um, all of these guys have to understand that they are going to come in as a backup position, and if they work really hard in a good position, that they will get a chance. And so for me, what I think we do, I do think we're still looking at Jaden Daniels. I think Caleb Williams is to me the easy pick if Jaden Daniels goes number one. Okay, so I do think that those two guys are going to be okay in the NFL. I don't know how long Jaden Daniel holds up, being that he has a very small frame, in my opinion, for him being 6'3" and some change and 210. Um, he don't look like he got a lot of bulk on him. His legs didn't look small, but at the same time, I'm not going to go too deep into that. So I do think that this is a very, very tricky draft when it comes to the quarterbacks. But I do see all of those guys being drafted within the first 2 to 3 rounds. Every name that I named, with the exception of Joe Milton. Joe Milton may have slipped in there with all of his arm strength for what he was showing off in the combine. He ran good 40. He did a lot of good stuff. So he may slip into that third round, but don't look for Joe Milton to be there 4, 5, 6 rounds maybe. It, I see him late third round at the latest. So we talking 6, 7 quarterbacks coming off the board, easy, maybe even 10.
What you got, Big Son?
My stance has changed on Jaden Daniels. I don't want him. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. It's not necessarily a knock on him, but a knock on what status he has. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. And Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks have not translated well in the NFL. Vince Young, we were talking about him earlier. He started out the first 2 years pretty decent. It was very rocky though, pretty decent, but rocky. He had 12 touchdowns first season, 13 interceptions. Next season, 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. I think the season after that, he ended up getting hurt because he only had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions that season. But the years that followed that weren't that great. So another guy,
I don't know if you could really say that the quarterbacks have been bad. If you look historically, I don't know if we could say that. So you look at
the Heisman Trophy winners?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks who come to the league, they don't translate very well. The second guy I was going to talk about is a guy from
Staubach. Rodgers, let's list them. Roger Staubach. Would you say he was a good quarterback? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll say it was good.
Jim Plunkett. Good, yes or no?
So. That's the Raiders,
Yeah.
right?
Doug Flutie.
Yeah, so.
Vinny
Fluke.
Testaverde. I don't know about that. Testaverde had a long career in the league. He played all right. Charlie Ward.
Because you had a long career for me.
Charlie Ward, we can't really say because he didn't really go to the league. You get what I mean? Carson Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Carson Palmer.
Did he win a Super Bowl?
Nah, but was he good or not? Is the question. Did he translate the NFL? Was he good or not? Carson to me was good.
Carson
Matt
was good.
Leinart. Matt Leinart, bad. Trash.
But
I'm gonna say Tim Tebow.
But that's what I'm saying. Majority.
Trash.
I wouldn't say trash. Tim Tebow beat a Pittsburgh Steelers playoff team on the up.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Sam Bradford.
Trash.
All right. Cam Newton.
Huh?
Cam Newton.
He translated well.
RG3.
Well. But you see what I'm saying? The inconsistency of it? No. Because he was my second guy. He's my second guy I'm about to bring up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the number. The numbers is what scares me the most.
Johnny Manziel.
Trash. Jameis Winston. Trash.
Jameis Winston.
Trash.
Nah, he all right. He not great, but he all right.
Trash. He's trash.
All right, Marcus Mariota.
Trash.
Lamar Jackson.
Good. But you see what I'm saying?
Baker Mayfield.
Of this thing here. You don't know whether this guy is going to be good. It's too inconsistent for me. And it's been more inconsistent lately here as here of late. You know.
I don't think so. As of late, you got Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. Bryce Young only been in the league 1 year. I'm not going to throw him away after 1 year.
He's trash. Bryce Young is trash. Young is trash. I'm throwing him away.
Hold up.
I'm throwing him away.
Kyler Murray, no.
He only played 1 year.
I think he's trash. I'm gonna say that now.
Right?
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. It's inconsistent, bro. Like, I'm too scared of the Heisman Trophy winners. Like, you said them guys, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and who else?
Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
Mayfield is good. Mayfield is good.
After that, let's go after that.
You gotta get in the order. My bad. Like, you gotta get in the order. So it was Lamar, then Baker, then Kyler, then Joe Burrow, then Bryce Young.
All of them are good. All of them are good except for Bryce Young.
I don't know. I don't know if I can put Kyler in there.
I like Kyler. I think let's look at his numbers. I think he's decent. I think he's decent.
But what I'm saying is that in my opinion, to me, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks work out more times than not. In my opinion.
No, not in that list.
What you mean? Cam Newton worked out. RG3 didn't work out. You get what I mean?
Kyler Murray has 94 touchdowns. Hold up. Kyler Murray has 94 touchdowns and 46 interceptions. That's pretty good.
That's good.
Now let me say this. His first 3 seasons were amazing. 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, 3,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 picks. And then it just was a big drop. It went down to 2,300, 14-7. And then last year it was 1,700, 10-5. But he's always had more touchdowns than interceptions, probably double. He's always had double the amount of touchdowns nearly than interceptions in every season. I will say that much.
But he's been hurt, as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, for me, I always judge it on wins and play, especially how you play in the playoffs. So I mean, yeah, your stats matter. Your
And
stats matter
see,
because it gives you opportunity.
and
But
see,
Kyler's better good than bad. I'll say he's more good than bad.
and see, bro,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it. Like we look at the stat, but I'm not only looking at the stats. I'm looking at your overall. Like Lamar, you can't even beat Patrick Mahomes, my dog.
I ain't gonna
You
say he's
Patrick
bad though.
Mahomes,
He's not a bust. He's not a
he
bust.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
ain't no bust,
The
but I'm saying
question,
though,
the question is, are
these
they
caliber
bad?
players, these guys that win Heisman trophies, you expect for them to be great. Reggie Bush, i.e.,
I agree. You do expect him
you
to
know what
be
I'm saying?
great. I do agree
When
with that part.
I expect you to be great if I'm going to draft you at that point. I don't expect for me to have to go back to the drawing board
If I draft you number 2 overall,
and
I
you a
want my money's worth.
Heisman winner. I
Yeah.
expect that your whole career be Heisman
You have to
Trophy
be an
winner, right?
impact. Yeah, you have to be an impact player
You
at
know, so
number
that's
2
the only thing
overall.
that scares me. You know, Bryce Young, RG3, guys like that were projected so good. You know what I'm saying? And they came out and really bum sauced it up
I don't see
after a while.
Daniels doing that though.
You didn't.
I don't see Daniels doing that. I think that he's going to scare a lot of defenses. But the thing is, can he keep himself healthy? That's the question for me when it comes to Daniels. It's not well what he could do on the field. I believe he's
Yeah,
going to be amazing on the field. It's
yeah,
can he keep himself healthy?
and
But
I
if you
agree with that.
Vince Young and Robert was the same way. Vince Young wouldn't run as much, but Vince Young had the threat of running. If he
Right.
wanted to, he had the threat of running on you. You know what I'm saying? So, but that right there just scares me. The inconsistency of the Heisman Trophy winner. If you're a Heisman Trophy winner, I expect for you to bring that type of caliber to your career, not just a couple years. Your entire career, you need to be held to that standard. I mean, I held Reggie Bush to that standard his entire career. And Reggie, to me, Reggie never really slacked off. He just got old.
Yeah, he got a ring though. He got a Super Bowl ring where he was a heavy contributor to that team.
Exactly.
And they started losing. They have never been back since he left. They didn't do
Mhm.
the same.
Yeah. So that's what I want to see. So me honestly, I'm scared at this point. Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks that come out of college. You have some good ones, but then you also have some bad ones that happen as well. So it's too inconsistent for me to have faith in that system that, you know, if we draft Jane Daniels, the same thing won't happen there.
I mean, I agree.
I would rather
I'm not
I would
wrong,
rather take
Jaden
the
Daniels.
risk. I would rather take the risk out of that, draft Joe Milton and get some capital for that pick right there, or just grab no, I'm grabbing capital. I'm grabbing capital. I'm grabbing capital.
No, I want Daniels. I'm gonna keep it real. I can take Daniels, and that's just me. But go ahead, you can finish your point to your overall on the picks.
No, I'm just saying that's where I'm at. I'm basically grabbing capital like I did yesterday. Get the 11th overall pick and the 23rd overall pick, 2 picks in the first round, and still got 2 picks in the second round. You know, so that's how I would do it.
Okay. Now me, on the other hand, if you are going to go and get Brian Thomas Jr. Sorry, if I'm saying his name right, Brian Thomas. If you are going to go get the receiver out of LSU as well, Brian Thomas, then make a play on Daniels and go get that receiver with him as well. I think they are a package. I want to see if you get one. I want both. If you're not getting both, I don't want either. I'm with Big Son. Or I would draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and then go get Bo Nix. If you're not going to go get Daniels and his receiver, you know what I'm saying? That's just my position on it. You know what I mean? I don't want Daniels unless I can get Thomas Jr. with it. That's just me. And however you got to do that, do it. You know, do it. Whatever you got to do it. I feel like it's enough linemen in this draft where you can get someone later, or you can get whatever later. But if you're going to target Daniels, you have to target Thomas as well, because you need a receiver. Zacchaeus ain't gonna do it. I don't know what y'all thought he was about to do. But Zacchaeus ain't about to get you nothing. Period. So I don't even know why y'all did that, or what that was supposed to be.
They ain't gonna get you nothing but a good scuffle in the locker room because they're gonna be like, what you here for? You a bum. Why you in? And as a man, you ain't gonna let nobody talk to you like that. So it's gonna be a Stephen Davis and a Michael Westbrook type of situation there.
Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So no, go get you Brian Thomas. Stop getting these little teeny receivers and go and get you 6'4", 6'5", and somebody who can really make an impact. And I believe Brian Thomas would make that impact. So I would go Daniels and Thomas. If I don't want Thomas, I don't want Daniels either. That's how I view this. You know what I mean? If you are not going to get a receiver as well, if you get Daniels, you have to get another receiver, and he cannot be 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", 5 anything. He can't be 5 nothing. He cannot be under 6'2". Period. You're wasting your
Yeah,
time. Matter of fact, he can't even be under 6'3" if you ask me.
I definitely agree wholeheartedly.
And he can't run less than a 4.4. So that limits what you can do. That's just my opinion. So if you draft, and I do believe that the Washington football team is going to draft Jaden Daniels. I do believe that. But I'm saying, if you want to make good of your pick, go and get Brian Thomas Jr. with him and save yourself a headache later on, because right now you don't have receivers. Who you got out there now ain't gonna work. And that's the same thing. I'm with you on the same thing for cornerback as well on the defensive side. Maybe Joe Witt can get more out of these guys, or Joe Witt. Hey, maybe you could Joe Witt this thing on out. Hey, if you think you could do it, fine. But if it don't work, y'all should be held accountable, because nobody told you to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Because who's going to be held accountable when it doesn't work out?
Because none of y'all.
We need more corners. I'm telling y'all, St. Juice ain't going to look good on the outside. He's going to get ate up.
And I don't want it to be the coach who's held accountable, and I don't want it to be the coordinator just wasn't. We thought this didn't. I want the GM and the owner held accountable for once around here, because y'all did not hold Martin Mayhew accountable for none of that mess he did when he came here. Y'all didn't hold him accountable for releasing Landy Collins Jr. Oh, no, I say Landon Collins Jr. He wasn't a junior. Landon Collins. Y'all didn't hold nobody accountable for releasing Landon Collins. One of the most wackest things you ever done, and it came back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hold nobody accountable for releasing Alfred Morris when you released him. Now y'all went in a different direction than Sam Howell. You released Sam Howell. You released you went and let Cameron Curl walk. You let Kendall Fuller walk. You let this man walk. Okay, well, hey, you need to be held accountable if it don't work out.
Mm-hmm. Because the last time we let Fuller walk, we ended up getting Breland. We got a recall for him walking. If y'all remember correctly, we got Bashar Breland.
Yeah.
And
you don't have no problem bringing in your friends, people your homies, but you don't want to sign the people that was here that put work in. But you don't mind bringing in some ex-Cowboys and some ex-Falcons and some ex, all your exes. You don't mind bringing them in. It's the X factory here. And it's the same thing that Ron Rivera did. They used to call us the Washington Panthers because Ron Rivera was bringing in all these ex-Panthers, and ain't none of them work out. Thomas Davis, for instance. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. The people who did work out was the people who nobody had coached with. Landon Collins worked out, for instance. Y'all didn't give William Jackson a chance. You got him out of here quick.
Yeah, I still don't like that. Because William Jackson was one of the best things that happened to the team in a long time.
The team was playing very well when William Jackson was in there on the defensive side, in my opinion.
I agree.
And now we don't have no corners. Y'all let all these guys walk. Nobody got held accountable for it. Definitely not the GM, which was Martin Mayhew.
Mm-hmm.
He's still here. He still got a job.
which he shouldn't.
So you have to hold the GM Adam Peters. Adam Peters needs to be held accountable. Adam Peters. Period. And that is my thing. That's my thought process on it. Y'all making all these decisions. We'll hold Adam Peters accountable. Y'all was all Adam Peters. Adam Peters gonna go do this. Adam Peters is the greatest man. Adam Peters is the great. Adam Peters. I've been hearing so much Adam Peters all for the last 3 months. Adam Peters. Yeah, well, when we lose it and we 4-13, I want to hear the same thing. Adam Peters.
Yeah, don't go blaming don't go blaming Quinn, throwing it all on Quinn.
Yep.
Because that's what they're gonna do.
Because guess who? But who picked Quinn? Adam Peters. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still listening to what Ben Johnson had to say. In Detroit, when he said them guys are basketball guys, they don't even know what they doing. Too many basketball guys in the room.
Well, we're gonna see if they know what they're doing on that.
You know,
we will see.
So make sure y'all hold everybody accountable around these parts. Let's stop. And I mean Adam Peters. Make sure you hold Adam Peters accountable. That's the only thing I ask. If this team is 4-13 again and they tank like I believe they did last year, if they go with Mariota as the starting quarterback, I believe they'll be tanking and saying, oh, yeah, we're going to pick another quarterback. We're going to pick a quarterback. We're going to get the second pick and pick a quarterback again next year. We're going to pick a quarterback. We're going to finally get a quarterback. If that's what goes on, then make sure that you hold the great owner that y'all don't want to, he can't do no wrong. Josh Hurst can't do no wrong. It's a new regime. They can't do no wrong.
All right, man. Look, man, we gotta wrap this up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. Let's make sure that we put an explanation point on this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing all this. So let's make sure we hold everything accountable, man. I'm gonna sign out, man. This is the Nature Sports Network. Y'all make sure that y'all follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, man. Make sure y'all follow us. Just hashtag the Nature DC, and we should pop up on any of those platforms, man. Y'all go and make sure y'all follow us because we gonna give it to you real, raw, and the only way that we know how to give it to you, 10 years strong, here on the Nature Network. I'm gonna sign off. Let the guys sign off.
Yeah, this point B.
Yes, sir. It's that boy Big Son, man.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all already know.
We'll see y'all Monday. No show Fridays. We see y'all Monday. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.